Alright. Nasa 20 na tayo. Okay. Anyways, yung huli will be huli. Okay, meron nag-leave ng chat. Let me see what's going on. Some are in Oh, okay. Some are in co-sharing. Okay. Very good, very good. Okay, before we get started, house rules po muna. House rules. Para po tayo makatipid sa bandwidth at para maganda rin yung dating ko sa inyo, para hindi parang nag-slow motion, patayin po natin lahat ng ating video para yung bandwidth natin hindi masyadong malakas yung kinakain. Okay? And then, ikalawa, mute your mics dahil pagka merong maingay dun sa paligid natin, sa kapaligiran natin, nabubulabog yung ibang nakikinig at hindi nila maiintindihan yung pinag-uusapan. Okay, that's number 2. Number 3, make sure na meron kayong charger kung sakasakaling maubusan kayo ng charge. Meron kayong charger sa tabi para hindi kayo maputol. Find a comfortable seat para komportable kayo, maganda nyo napapakinggan yung pinag-aaralan natin, and away from distraction para makatutok tayo sa pinag-uusapan natin ngayong hapon. Okay? So, other than that, thank you for being here this afternoon. Welcome to Tatag Pinoy Livelihood Program. Workshop, I'm sorry. This is now Module 2 of Phase 1. First question is, napanood ba ng lahat? Okay, I'd like to, doon sa chat, pakilagay nyo na lang, sino ang nakapanood ng video number 1? I just want to see kung napanood ninyo lahat yung video number 1 bago tayo magsimula. Okay. May isa doon. Sino ba? Okay, si Lourdes. Sino pa? Sir J, IDC, kay Charlotte, Ramon. Okay. Si Amy Rose, very good. Ferdinand, Sydney, si Asus. Hi, Asus. Okay, so looks like napanood naman lahat. Okay. Okay, merong isang humihingi ng link. Bigyan ko lang sandali ng link yung isang tao. Okay. Sandali ha. Okay, so we're here. Okay, is that Ria? Ria, paki-turn off mo yung video mo para hindi tayo masyadong malakas na bandwidth and para dire-diretso yung takbo natin, hindi ako nag-cha-choppy. Okay, dahil mukhang uulan eh. Ewan ko kung umuulan diyan sa banda sa inyo. But nevertheless, Ray, welcome, yung co-host ko sa first video. Andito siya ngayon, siya yung humingi ng link, kaya pinuntahan ko lang siya sandali. But nevertheless, we are about to get started. Okay. First, let me introduce myself. My name is Rennie. People call me Renegade. I am the renegade, the true renegade with a cause. Dahil yung mga tinuturo ko is kabaliktaran ng natutunan natin. Or, say it another word, yung tinuturo ko yung hindi natin natutunan, yung hindi itinuro sa atin. Okay? Nevertheless, meron akong sarili kong school. Ang pangalan ng school ko, School for Mind Expansion and School, SFME. Dito ako nagtuturo ng entrepreneurship. Usually, ang tinuturuan ko, one-on-one ako with mga CEOs, presidents of companies. Usually, no one knows about me dahil ang arrangement ko with them is that I'm like the secret weapon. So, hindi ako nag-advertise, hindi ako nagmamarket. Napakiusapan ako ditong nakipag-usap sila sa akin na i-share ko dito yung mga itinuturo ko sa school ko. So sabi ko, yes, no problem. Basta makatulong sa tao, then pumayag ako. And that's why nandito tayo lahat ngayong hapon. Another thing is, itong ang pandemyang dumating sa atin ngayong panahon na to, ang daming naituro sa atin. Tinuturo ko nga doon sa mga tinuturuan ko na dapat kayo magpasalamat na itong pandemyang ito ang nagpakita sa atin na ang dami palang butas ng ginagawa natin. Ang daming kulang. Yung iba, nakita na natin yung butas pero hindi natin inasikaso. Yung iba, hindi nakita yung butas. Mas masakit yung hindi nakita yung butas dahil kasi nauubos yung laman ng timba mo nang hindi mo nalalaman dahil di mo nakikita yung butas. Yung iba naman, nakikita na yung butas, wala pa rin ginagawa. Kaya napakaraming business na nagsasara ngayon. Yun ang kailangan nyo maintindihan, okay? Bakit nagsasara yung maraming business? Yung karamihan ng nagsarang business has been in the industry for more than 10 years. Yun na lang alam nyo to, yung Airbnb. Okay? Airbnb. Sabi nila, we built this for 12 years and we almost got wiped out in 6 months. 6 weeks. Sipin mo yun? So, ibig sabihin nun, may butas yung mga strategy nila, may butas. Okay? Yun yung mga tinuturo ko, yung butas na yun. Okay? May butas yung mga strategy nila. Ngayon lang nila nalalaman. Ngayon lang nila napapansin because of what happened. Kasi ngayon lang naman nagkaroon ng sa buong buhay natin, ngayon lang nagkaroon ng lockdown. Technically, the last parang similar to this lockdown was 1918. And most of you are not even born that time. Hindi pa kayo tao nun. So sabi ko nga, kailangan nating magpasalamat dito sa pandemya ito dahil ito yung nagpamulat sa atin na ang daming kulang. Okay? So ngayon, i-share ko yung mga ideas ko, yung my knowledge about being an entrepreneur. Okay. Ang Tatag Pinoy program paano ko bang sasabihin to? Naglalaro sa 3 character traits. Okay, 3 character traits. Okay? Unang-una, resiliency. Ikalawa, self-reliance. And ikatlo, sustainability. Okay. So now, tingnan natin ngayon yung nagsasara ng business. Sustainable ba sila? So may butas na isa. Okay? Resiliency, ibig sabihin, kahit anong bagyong dumating, gagawan mo ng paraan, lalabanan mo para manatili kang nakatayo. Nasaan sila ngayon? Tumba. Malalaking kumpanya yan, ha? Victoria's Secret, bankrupt. Malalaki tong kumpanya pinag-uusapan natin. So, kayo, kung nagbabala kayong magsimula ng munting business sa pagiging entrepreneur, kailangan maintindihan nyo to. Dahil pag hindi nyo naintindihan to, ganun din mangyayari sa inyo. Pagdating ng araw, pagdating ng malakas na bagyo, sarado rin kayo. Sayang naman lahat yung pinagpaguran natin. Yun yung lagi kong sinasabi. Para ano pa, yung nagpalaki ka, pagkatapos mawawala rin lang lahat dahil hindi mo inaayos na maayos, sayang lang yung pagod mo. So it's the wrong strategy. Okay? So kaya tinatag ngayon ang Sariling Hamon na tulad ng nabanggit doon sa first video na 2001, 2010, then 2020. 2001, 2010, ang tao talagang, nandoon pa sila doon sa takbo ng mentalidad na, umaasa. Hindi pa rin nila maintindihan na para umayos ang buhay natin, kailangan mong ayusin sarili mo lang. That's it. Yun lang ang sekreto talaga. Sarili mo, nandoon ang sekreto. Wala sa business, wala sa economy, nasa sarili mo. Dahil ito yung tandaan niyo, okay? Hindi ka magtatayo ng business. Tandaan mo yan. Hindi ka magtatayo ng business. Ikaw ang business. Okay? Ikaw yun. Pag hindi mo naintindihan yun, may hirapan ka. Ibig sabihin nung ikaw ang business, kahit saan ka magpunta, ikaw yung walking marketing advertising ng business mo. Ikaw yung nagko-connect ng business mo kung saan-saan. Kahit na nandoon ka nagbabakasyon ka, nandoon ka sa loob ng bar, umiinom ka, ang pinag-uusapan mo, business pa rin. Business mo. So, hindi ikaw ang nagtatayo ng business, okay? Ikaw ang business mismo. Tandaan niyo yan. Ikaw ang business. Isulat niyo yan para mas matandaan niyo. You don't start a business. You are the business. So, dahil you are the business, yung buhay mo, ito na ngayon, yung buhay mo ang unang business mo. So, ikaw ang CEO ng buhay mo. Okay. May mga CEO kayong makikita na nakapagpalaki ng business, empleyado siyang CEO, nakapagpalaki ng business, pero yung buhay niya sabog. Sira ang pamilya. Yun ang sinasabi kong disconnected. If your life is not in order, your business will not work. So, kailangan ayusin mo muna yung buhay mo. Kaya nga sabi ko, yung buhay mo ang unang business mo. Patakbuhin mo yung buhay mo na parang business. Kaya ikaw ang CEO. Okay? Okay ba yun? Thumbs up naman dyan kung naintindihan nyo yun. Okay. Kaya, sariling hamon. Ibig sabihin ng sariling hamon is, hahamunin mo ngayon yung sarili mo. Hahamunin mo yung sarili mo na magawa yung mga bagay na hindi mo pa naisip gawin before. Di ba? So now, kaya magandang title yung sariling hamon kasi nandoon na mismo. Mabasa mo pa lang yung sariling hamon, parang pinapaalala na sa'yo. Okay? Ang tawag ko doon sa tinuturo ko is, you have to parent yourself. Anong ibig sabihin ng you have to parent yourself? Nung bata tayo, kung naalala nyo pa, nung bata tayo, laging pinapagawa ng mga parents natin yung mga bagay na ayaw natin gawin. Magbunot ka ng ano ba 'yon? Lapag ng basta magbunot ka. Kalimutan ko na. Magbunot ka. Maghugas ka ng plato. Ayusin mo yung kwarto mo. Maglinis kayo ng bahay. Laging pinapagawa sa atin yung ayaw natin gawin. Di ba? Now, malaki ka na, okay? Wala ka na sa poder ng parents mo, parents ka na ngayon, wala nang gumagawa sa iyo noon. Ikaw ang kailangang gumawa sa sarili mo noon. You have to parent yourself. Kailangan mong sabihin sa sarili mong, gawin mo to, gawin mo to, gawin mo to. Naintindihan yun? You have to parent yourself. Okay? Yun yung pinaka-challenge. Okay? So, bakit natin kailangang bumuo ng collective effort? Okay? Para makapagbago. Okay? Bakit kailangan pa ng pagbabago in the first place? Well, sabi ko nga kanina, ngayon lang nare-realize ng tao, ang dami palang mali sa plano nila. Okay? Ang daming mali sa plano nila. Let me input a little bit of info dito sa maraming mali sa plano nila. Okay? Let's say, for example, Sears. Wag Sears. Kodak. Para kilala ninyo. Kodak. Alam nyo ba kung sino ang unang-unang naka-imbento nung digital camera or digital camera? Meron bang nakakaalam sa inyo kung sino naka-imbento ng digital camera? Taas lang ng kamay kung wala. Ay, kung wala, kung meron. yung ex pala ang no. Oh, alam ni Charlotte, alam ni Amy. Okay, good. Alam din ni Ramon. Very good, very good. Okay. Ang naka-imbento ng digital camera ay isang technician ng Kodak. Sipin mo yun, ha? Nasa loob mismo ng kumpanya ng Kodak ang nakadiskubre nakapag-imbento ng digital camera. Nung pinresent ngayon ito sa Kodak, sabi ng Kodak, hindi natin kailangan yan. Okay? Bakit sinabi ng Kodak yun? Kasi sila yung pinakamalakas mag-move ng films at that time. Okay? So, isinelf nila ngayon yung itinago nila yon. Okay? So, nangyari? Anong nangyari? Anong ibig sabihin nun? Ang ibig sabihin nun is, they try to hold on doon sa old, lumang business model. Hindi nila tiningnan yung what's out in the future. What is going to happen? Hindi nila tiningnan yun. Nakatingin sila sa likod. Tayo ang pinakamalakas magbenta ng film. Hindi natin kailangan yan. Boom! 2000, nakalimutan ko kailan sila nag-bankruptcy. But they filed bankruptcy. And then, 2013, bumalik sila sa market trying to compete with the digital camera product. Nokia. Kilala nyo Nokia? Nokia, at that time, they have, prior to iPhone, they have 60% market share. Nokia is king or was king. Okay? 60% market share. And then nag-announce si Steve Jobs. Sabi ni Steve Jobs, I'm gonna put up a phone so sexy you wanna lick it. Yeah, yun ang sabi niya. So narinig ngayon ni Nokia itong announcement ni Steve Jobs na maglalabas sila ng phone. Anong sinabi ni Nokia? I mean, almost naririnig ko yung boses niya na sinasabi niya to. Steve Jobs? Anong alam niya sa phone? Computer guy yan. Makinig kayo sa akin. Ako ang dahilan kaya 60% ang market share natin. Ayun. Paglabas ng iPhone, 6 months from 60% market share down to 10%. Sipin mo yun 6 months, ang laking dagok nun. Okay? And then, nagkaroon pa ng press release, umiiyak pa si Mokong. Wala naman daw silang maling ginawa, pero somehow natalo sila. Pwede ba yun? Matatalo ka ba nang wala kang maling ginawa? Yun nga ang pivot ng pagkapanalo at pagkatalo. Pagkamataasan ng labanan, kung sino yung unang magkamali, matatalo. Marami yan. So, kumbaga, itong pandemyang ito ang parang nagpakita sa atin na, oops, teka muna. Sugod tayo ng sugod, dahil palang kulang. Kunya, susugod tayo sa gera, dala natin lahat ang baril natin, pero yung bala natin, naiwanan sa kampo. Anong gagawin mo? Tatapon mo yung baril mo sa kalaban. Hindi pwede yun. Okay? So, good na nagkaroon to, pero you know, sometimes it doesn't sound right me saying na it's good na nangyari to dahil kasi nga ang daming tinamaan, ang daming na victimized ng pandemic na to, ang daming nagutom, daming nawalan ng trabaho. Pero sometimes tragedy has to happen for us to learn our mistakes. Para maintindihan natin yung mga mistakes natin. So ngayon, naintindihan natin yung mistakes natin. Aayusin natin ngayon. Kaya namin ginagawa ito para matulungan namin kayo na hindi lang makapagsimula, hindi lang makapagpalaki, maging sustainable pa. Ibig sabihin ng sustainable is kahit anong mangyari, hindi kayo tutumba. Okay? Napakahalaga nun. May sikreto para hindi tumumba. Mamaya maiintindihan nyo yun. Okay? So, kaya yun ang dahilan kaya kailangan nating magbago, kailangan nating mag-isip ng panibago at magawa natin yung dapat nating gawin. Okay. Nandito yung agenda ko for today. Okay. Yeah. Okay. So, another aspect pa pala is sabihin ko na pala yung sikreto kasi ito na nandito na sinasabi na ito na yung sikreto. Ang sikreto talaga, which is the same thing na tinuturo ko sa school ko, is to be able to work together. Okay? The only way to win is to work together. Ang problema is hindi tayo tinuruang how to work together. Hindi tinuro. We were not taught how to work together. Okay? Ang tinuro sa atin competition. Okay? Anong ibig sabihin ng competition? Kompetensya. May mananalo, may matatalo. Okay? Kaya maraming solopreneur, maraming solo flights. Lahat halos ng business na alam natin, solo flight, solopreneur nga ang tawag doon. Sino yan? Bill Gates, Steve Jobs, Warren Buffett, sino ba yan? Richard Branson. Solo lahat yun. Kaya pangalan nila solo. Solo. They're entrepreneur, pero solo. Solopreneur ang tawag natin doon. Okay? Ngayon palang nagkakaroon ng alingaw-ngaw noong katagang sociopreneur. Okay? Sociopreneur are people working together. Dahil ang itinuro sa atin is competition, pagalingan. Meron akong sasabihin baka hindi magustuhan ng iba, pero ito yung katotohanan. Pataasan ng ihi. Pagalingan. So, yun ang ibig sabihin ng pagalingan. Patutumbahin kita. Dahil kailangan akong matira. Yun yung nakalakihan natin. Yun yung nakagawian natin. Na kailangan na nating palitan ngayon yun. So, kailangan nating, we have to learn how to cooperate. We have to learn how to work together. Yun yung matatag. Okay? Kumbaga, in the business world, yun yung tinatawag na conglomerate or group of companies. Yeah. So, pwede nating gamitin yung model na yun, group of companies, sa pagiging sociopreneur. Okay? Na everybody cooperating with each other and then inter-business relationships. Okay? May gumagawa, may nag-aani dito, merong nagpa-packaging dito, may nagpo-processing dito. They're all different companies. And sila rin yung nagpuproduce ng product na kailangan ma-produce. Parang ganon. Okay? Connected lahat. Yun ang ibig sabihin. So that yung kita, pagpasok, spread din sa lahat. Okay? Mahalaga yun. Isa pa is yung business na i-introduce, nasisimulan dito sa Sariling Hamon are businesses na simple. Simple pero malaki ang possibility maging major player. Okay? Dahil kasi nga, bakit ka magiging major player? Organized Iba yung organized, iba yung nagsosolo. Okay? Sasabihin ko na sa inyo yung problema ng nagsosolo. Okay? Hindi ako talaga naniniwala doon sa nagsosolo. Ito yung nagsosolo. Yung nagsosolo, magtatayo ng business, and then mag-hire ng tao. Okay? Ang problema yung pag-hire. Okay? Number one, sino marunong mag-hire? Technically, walang marunong mag-hire. Anong ibig kong sabihin walang marunong mag-hire? Okay? Walang marunong magbasa ng tao para alam niya kung sino yung kukunin niya para ilagay dun sa position na kailangang i-fill in. Okay? Walang marunong gumawa nun. Puro sablay lahat. Swertihan yung magagaling na empleyado. Okay? Kaya ang tanong ko sa kanila, ganong kahirap maghanap ng magaling na empleyado? Napakahirap nun. Why? Kasi nga yun ang experience Swertihan. So, ibig sabihin, lahat ng hinahire, maling tao. So, ngayon, dating nagkatrabaho sa inyo, siguro napansin nyo, meron kayong mga manager na walang alam. Meron kayong mga boss na hindi maintindihan kung anong takbo ng utak. Why? Wala nga marunong mag-hire Okay? Yun yung problema. This has been going on for so long, walang nakaka-realize nito. Okay? Walang marunong mag-hire. Kahit na pa HR ka, kahit na pa psychology graduate ka, walang marunong mag-hire. Okay? And this goes into our into our personal life as well. Wala ring marunong mamili ng mapapangasawa. Kaya kadalasan, naghihiwalay or they end up in a toxic relationship. Now they're trapped. They're in the wrong relationship. Pero they made that decision. Why? Hindi nga tayo marunong magbasa eh. Then papasok ka sa business, magpapapasok ka ng mga partners mo, hindi ka pa rin marunong magbasa, yung mga pinapapasok mo, ito pala yung mga taong kakain sa'yo. So, ito yung mga problemang walang nakakakita. Hindi nila naiintindihan ito. Okay? Kaya itinuturo ko yon. And then, I'm sharing this with you guys kasi introduction pa lang naman to. We're gonna get deeper into this. Okay? Walang marunong mag-hire. So ngayon, mag-hire ka ng mag-hire ka ng managers. Anong tinitingnan mo? Resume. Ang daming nagtuturo paano gumawa ng magandang resume. Okay? So ngayon, and then yung lahat ng questions scanned. Ibig sabihin, pare-pareho lahat yung question. So how do you decide? How do you decide kung sino yung i-hire mo? Feeling. Pag ikaw nag-decide based on emotion, yari ka. Okay? So, never ever decide based on emotion. So, feeling lang. Feeling ko, you're the right person. Magaang ang pakiramdam ko sa'yo. And then it gets hired. And pagpasok, gago pala. So, ngayon, you're stuck with the siraulong empleyado. May sakit ka ngayon ng ulo. Ngayon, ang dami mong siraulong empleyado, ngayon, ang dami mong sakit ng ulo. Okay? These are the things people don't realize. Ano pa? Ito na. Ano ang pinakamalaking problema ng business? Sa accounting department. Accounting department. Yes. Dahil wala kang alam sa accounting, mag-hire ka ngayon ng accountant mo. Diyan nagkakaloko-loko ang business. May mga accountant na nakakapag-divert ng pera nang hindi mo alam. Dahil wala kang alam sa accounting eh. So, basically, what am I trying to say? What I'm trying to say is, kailangang maintindihan mo lahat ng aspect ng business bago ka magsimula. Kailangan maintindihan mo lahat ng aspect ng business. Marunong ka makipag-uso sa tao, sales, master ka ng sales, master ka ng negotiation, master mo na yung business, na master mo ang marketing and advertising, na master mo ang reading people. Pag wala yun, butas-butas ang business mo. Dahil mag-ahire ka ng tao, and more than likely, I would say, more than 80%, 80 to 90%, mali yung taong hinire mo. Kaya nga pahirapan maghanap ng magaling na empleyado. Okay? Yun yung ibig sabihin nun. So, kaya kailangan na nating baguhin yung pamamaraan natin dahil it doesn't work. Ang dami-daming butas, guys. Ang dami-daming butas. Okay, so, improving our socio-economic base by getting ourselves involved in productive endeavors and activities. Okay, so yun na yun. Pero sinabi ko, we get involved in a small productive activities that will have the potential to actually grow and be a major player. I mean, yun lang sili na inaakala mong kaliit-liit. Di ba nag-1,000 ang presyo ng sili at one time? But nevertheless, kahit na hindi mag-1,000 ang presyo ng sili, ang usage ng sili is napakataas. Kaya a simple plant, fruit, whatever, I don't know what you call sili. Bear could be a major player. I mean, alam niyo naman yan, sibuyas, major player. Luya, major player. I mean, dahil yun ang staple ng cooking ng Pilipinas ng Pilipino. So, yeah. So, kailangan nating makagawa ng ma-map out natin, yung maiplano natin na maayos, ma-map out, makagawa tayo ng roadmap kung paano step-by-step process na magagawa natin patungo doon sa magandang kinabukasan na maiiwan natin sa ating mga anak. Okay? And ang kagandahan niyan is, I'd like to suggest na wag niyong isipin itong generation lang na to. Kailangan niyong isipin yung susunod na generation para sa anak ninyo. So, pag tayo nagtrabaho, kailangan up to the next generation and even to the next hanggang sa grandparents, grandchildren ninyo. Okay? Para siguradong, you know, hindi naman sila maghirap. Kasi kadalasan ng tao, itong generation lang nilang iniisip. No? You have to look into the next generations. Okay? Okay, let me see what's next. Sa mga susunod na linggo and sessions natin, okay? Tatag Pinoy workshops will be dedicated in providing capability building, okay, component to equip us to in this business arena. Dahil ito na naman ang sulat nyo to. Life is a game. I am the player. Life is a game and I am the player. Okay? So the question is, ganong kagaling kang lumaro? I mean, life is a game. Ang tagal na natin naririnig yan. Even in the Bible, life is a race. What is a race? A race is a game. Okay? So, life is a game. You are the player. The question is, gaano kang kagaling? How good of a player are you? Kaya nga sabi ko sa inyo kanina, yung buhay nyo ang unang business ninyo. Kayo ang CEO ng buhay ninyo. You have to start thinking that way. Kailangan nyo nang magsimulang tumayo ng ganoon ang turing nyo sa buhay. Ang buhay nyo ang unang business niyo. Okay? So sabi nga, bakit daw natin kailangan ng capability building? Kasi, yun nga, gaano ka bang kagaling? So, isipin mo, gusto mong maging boksingero. Okay? Anong kailangan mong gawin? Kailangan mong matuto yung pagbuboksing. Hindi ka pwedeng basta pumasok sa ring, makikipagboxing ka, doon ka palang mag-aaral. That's too late. Okay? Sabi ko nga doon nung isang araw, kung hindi ka pa marunong lumangoy, dahil hindi ka nag-aaral lumangoy, dahil hindi mo nakikita kung kailan mo kakailanganin lumangoy, and then umuwi ka ngayon ng probinsya, nagbarko ka, tumaob ang barko, ngayon sinasabi mo sa akin, Renny, turuan mo akong lumangoy. Too late. It's too late. So kung sino man sa inyo dyan di pa marunong lumangoy, matuto na kayo ngayon dahil napapaligiran tayo ng dagat. Tandaan niyo yan. You'll never know kung kailan nyo kakailanganan yun. Okay? So, bakit natin kailangan ng capability building? Kailangan natin gumaling. So, kailangan maintindihan yung kung magbo-boxing ka nga, kailangan maintindihan yung stance, kailangan maintindihan yung suntok, lahat ng klase ng suntok, kailangan maintindihan yung pag-ilag, kailangan maintindihan yung kung paano gagamitin yung kabuuan ng ring, kailangan maintindihan yung paano mong palalakasin yung suntok mo, kailangan maintindihan paano babasahin yung kalaban mo so that yung effort mo, yung pagsuntok mo, kalkulado lagi, hindi yung suntok ka lang ng suntok na hindi tumatama. Yun lahat yun. So ngayon, pag naiayos na lahat yun, magko-compete ka ngayon sa isang maliit na competition. Ang tawag doon is sparring. Okay? Para lang matest mo kung na-i-apply mo ngayon natututunan mo. Pag-sparring ka ngayon. Sparring. Yung sparring ang nagpapagaling sa'yo. Pero ngayon, pagdating sa sparring, di ba, kung ang ini-spar mo lang yung mas mababa sa'yo at mas kumbaga, ikaw ang advance, hindi ka gagaling. Ang i-spar mo lagi, kailangan mas magaling sa'yo. Yun yung magpipilit sa'yong umangat ang galing mo. Okay? Kaya kailangan natin ng capability building because kailangan nyo maintindihan ano yung mga dapat gawin na tungkol sa business at saka tungkol sa buhay. Okay? Napakarami yan. Okay? Negotiation, number 1. Pag hindi ka marunong makipag-negotiate, then you're always paying full price. Kung ikaw ay businessman, you should not be paying full price. You should always be negotiating. Ano pa? Kailangan maintindihan paano makipag-usap sa tao. So, yung pakikipag-usap sa tao, number 1 na kailangan niya sa pagbe-business. Dahil hindi lang ibang, kunyari, hindi lang ibang business owners ang kakausapin mo, kakausap ka ng vendors, ng suppliers, kakausap ka ng kumbaga, kunyari, palengke o lugar, para mag-rerenta ka ng lugar, kakausapin mo ng empleyado mo, tao lahat yan. That's why napakahalaga na maintindihan mo paano makipag-usap sa tao. Okay? Naintindihan mo, kailangan maintindihan mo rin paano magpatakbo ng business, kaya gagawa tayo ng roadmap. Okay? So ngayon, yung roadmap na yon, eto lang yung sasabihin ko sa inyo. Yung roadmap na yon, okay, proven na yon. Dahil yon kinuha doon sa mga 3% na tinatawag ko, sila Bill Gates, sila Steve Jobs, combination yun ng lahat ng nalalaman nila. So, ibig sabihin nun, meron kang gagawin doon na hindi mo feel. Okay? Hindi porkit hindi mo feel, hindi mo gagawin. Kaya nga sabi ko sa inyo kanina, kailangan, you have to parent yourself. Kailangan pagawa mo sa sarili mo yung mga bagay na ayaw mong gawin. Dahil kasi, yung lahat ng gusto mong gawin, kung ano lang yung alam mo. Yung lahat ng mga bago na gagawin, na very challenging na gagawin, you don't feel like doing this. Parang, tinatamad kang gawin. Parang, hindi ako yan eh. No. Kailangan maging ikaw yon. Dahil pag hindi ka naging ganon, kung ano yung buhay mo dati, babalik ka doon sa ganong klaseng buhay. Okay? So, yun yung napakahalaga doon. So, ngayon, meron akong video yung i-share sa inyo na kinuha namin sa isang show na tinatawag na Wealth Breakthrough para lang maintindihan nyo rin kung ano naman yung sinasabi ng ibang very successful entrepreneur na hindi lang ako. Dahil kasi kung ako lang, totoo ba yung sinasabi ng taong yun? Yeah, so, okay. So, let me look for that video. We start with Kevin. Yeah, okay. Okay. Share.
What is it I look for in a business, and how do I identify great opportunities? It's got to be a win-win situation. And in business, I learned if it's just for you, it's not going to last very long. So I had to think what's going to work for them and for me. I made mistakes along the way. I had some major issues that we ran into. I said, I need to share some of these problems that I've already uncovered so that other people don't have these same problems. This is what excites me, to be able to take somebody that's got something that they have no idea what they're sitting on, and within a short period of time, develop it into a $100 million success.
Okay. Isn't that interesting? Yeah, so if you're going into business and it's just for you, then it's not going to work. It's going to last long. Hindi magla-last long. Okay? So kailangan talagang you have to understand yung other people. You have to understand the client base, the customer base. You have to understand the partners. It has to be a win-win situation. Okay? Hindi tayo nasanay sa win-win situation kasi naging competitive tayo eh. Win-win situation was introduced by a guy by the name of Stephen Covey sa 7 Habits of Highly Effective People. Doon niya sinabi yung win-win situation. Nung ibig sabihin ng win-win situation, we both win. Walang competition. Okay? We put our efforts together, we both win. Okay? So yun yung napakahalaga. And then sabi niya, I have to share to people. I make mistakes and I have to share to people yung mga solution na sa problem na pinagdaanan ko so that people don't have to go through it again. Yun yung sinasabi ko. So that people don't have to go through it again. Kaya yung roadmap na gagawin namin sa inyo, yun na yun. Okay? Pag iniba nyo yun, hindi magwo-work yun. Dahil yun na yun. Yun na yung nagwo-work. Okay? Kasi nga, ang kalaban natin lagi yung feeling natin, yung feel natin. We're always judging everything by the way we feel, which is wrong. Hindi pwede yun. Dahil kasi you have to be objective and you have to have clarity. Pagka walang objectivity, walang clarity, sira. You're always making decision based on emotion. Okay? So, ano pang sabi niya? Ideas. Okay? We have to have ideas. Okay? Ano yung ideas? Okay, let me give you another another angle to this. Sabi, great minds talk about ideas. Average minds talk about events. Small minds talk about other people. Lumabas ka, pakinggan mo lahat ng mga pinag-uusapan ng tao. Right? Karamihan ng tao always talks about other people. Kakaunti lang yung talking about ideas, talking about how do we solve the problems? How do we solve the problems of humanity? How do we solve all of these problems? Ang tao, ang nangyari is parang bang iniiwasan nila yung problema. Ayaw nila ng may problema. Hindi pwede yun. Yung buhay mo, problema yun eh. Okay? Yung business, problema rin yun. It's a problem that you have to solve every single day. Maraming problemang pumapasok. Kaya kailangan mong gumaling sa problem solving. Anong ginagawa ng tao? Laging iniiwasan ng problema. Pag iniwasan mo ang problema, kailan ka gagaling sa pag-solve ng problema. Kaya ang tao, pagdating sa problema, tumutupi. Kaya hindi pwede yun. Kailangan sanay ka sa problema. Okay? Yun yung sinasabi ni Kevin. Okay. Tulad nung pinag-usapan natin nung first video, kailangan natin ng knowledge. Kailangan natin ng yung mga bagong knowledge na magagamit natin ngayon para magamit natin sa pagpapaganda, pag-aayos ng buhay natin. Okay? Ngayon, ibabalik ko uli si Kevin para maintindihan ninyo yung paano siyang mag-isip. Kasi yung pag-iisip kasi, thinking, hindi rin itinuro sa atin. Okay? Ang daming hindi itinuro sa atin. What happened? Okay. Thinking, hindi tinuro sa atin. Ano lang yung na-receive natin tungkol sa thinking? Eto. Yung iba sa inyo siguro may alala to. Ano ko ba? Ang laki-laki mo na, tanda-tanda mo na, hindi ka pa rin nag-iisip. Mag-isip ka. Gamitin mo yung utak mo. Anong utak mo? Utak lamok. That's it. That's our lesson on thinking. Walang nagturo sa atin paano mag-isip. Ang akala natin lahat ng tao marunong mag-isip. No. This is what Einstein said. Only 5% of the people think. 15% of the people think they think. And 80% of the people would rather die than think. Sipin mo yun. No one likes to think. Ipinaubaya na nila yung thinking to somebody else. Kaya ang buhay, gano'n na lang. No. Kailangan nating mag-isip ngayon. Kailangan natin matuto mag-isip. Tuturuan ko kayo. May proseso yon. May paraan yon. May blueprint yon. Okay? May blueprint yon. Okay. So, ngayon, I'd like you to listen to Kevin talking about how he came up with an idea nung isa sa mga entrepreneurial endeavors niya nung in the early 80s. Okay? 16, 7. Dali ha? Ano ko lang. $16, 7. Why? Oh. Okay. Okay. Okay, here we go.
Employees that were, I say employees, they were really straight commission salespeople.
Right.
And I don't remember the legal definition of what they did, but they were basically commission
Right.
folks. And so, and I was going to a lot of trade shows. And because if I'm selling restaurants, I'm going to tune into that industry. Flowers shops, I got to tune into that industry. I got a home and garden store for sale. I'm going to the home and garden shows. So I was doing about 25 to 30 trade shows a year,
Wow.
which I think.
Okay, I just like to tell you, yung mga sinasabi niya, I was doing, that's part of the thinking process. Kaya niya ginagawa yon because yung thinking process niya understands na, okay, ito yung mga kailangan mong gawin, ito yung mga kailangan mong gawin. Kaya niya ginagawa. So, para lang naiintindihan niyo kung paano siya nagsasalita, that's how it's going. Okay? Thinking process niya yung nagtuturo sa kanya ng gagawin niya.
Even to this day, I still do about 20, and so now I'm getting across all these different trade shows, and at the same time, the world of television was something I started to tune into because here it was the early '80s, and I bought it. I had been successful, so I bought a home, and I remember ordering cable television. When cable TV first came to be in my town, Cincinnati, it was the early '80s, they said, okay, now there's going to be 30 channels in your that you can subscribe to. Until then, if you remember TV before cable, it was only like 4 or 5 channels.
Right.
ABC, CBS, NBC. You pretty much just got a couple channels. All of a sudden, I got 30 channels. And so I remember getting my cable installed, and I got 24 hours of movies, HBO, 24 hours of news, CNN, 24 hours of music, MTV. I get to channel 30, and I'm going through each channel. I'm loving this. 24 hours of sports, ESPN, right? I get to channel 30, and there's nothing there. And so it was just colored bars. And so I called the cable company up, and I said, hey, I don't know what's happening. I said, I really love this cable thing, but I'm only getting 29 of the 30 channels. There's nothing on channel 30. And they said, oh, that's Discovery Channel. It's only an 18-hour-a-day channel. 18 hours of programming, 6 hours of bars on the screen. And I said, well, why is that? They said, it's a new channel. They don't have a budget to produce 24 hours a day. We, as the cable operator, are going to deliver to you what they deliver to us. So here I am thinking, what can go in that 6 hour block? And this was now where the thinking started. So I said to myself, I have to put something in the 6 hours that can generate revenue for me.
Sipin mo yun? Paano niya naisip yun? Nanonood siya ng cable TV, and then merong blank ng 6 hours na walang nangyayari niya. Kailangan ko malagyan ng content yon. See, ibang mag-isip sila. May paraan, may ano yon, may blueprint yon. Okay? Iba sila mag-isip.
And for the cable operator, because it's got to be a win-win situation. And in business, I learned if it's just for you, it's not going to last very long.
Right.
So I had to think what's going to work for them and for me. So here I was at the Philadelphia Home Show, Home and Garden, research, right? And I remember there was one booth with this one guy. And there was this huge crowd around the booth. And when you go to a trade show and you see a crowd around a booth, what do you usually do? You kind of slow up, kind of look, see what's going on, right? And I could barely see what was happening, but this guy is sitting there, he's got a big table, and a knife in his hand. He's cutting through a Coca-Cola can, through a muffler, through a pair of sneakers, and he said, it's called the Ginsu knife. And so, and like that, this guy is selling thousands of dollars worth of Ginsu knives, and I'm watching him. And I'm trying to fight through the crowd to get up to talk to him when he's done. Before I got there, he started all over again, same pitch, and as he had collected money from the last round, but it was the exact same pitch, the same words, cut through the Coca-Cola can, through the muffler, through the pair of sneakers, and I'm like, wow, this guy's been doing this for a while. So finally he got on break. I went up, I introduced myself to him, and I said, hey, I'm an entrepreneur, Kevin Harrington. That's probably the best sales pitch I've ever seen in my life. Tell me about, how you got involved in all of this. And he's like, he said, well, my name's Arnold Morris. He said, but kid, he said, you think this is glamorous? He said, I do this 40 weeks a year, the same pitch. I'm here in Philadelphia for 6 days. I'm leaving tomorrow. I go to the Iowa State Fair. I'll be there 8 days. I'm away from my family all the time. Yes, I make good money because I saw him collecting thousands of dollars. He said, but it's really grueling, and he was in his 70s, wow. Arnold, okay? So that's when the light bulb went off. And I said, Arnold, I have an idea. I said, I don't know if you know anything about Discovery Channel. And he's like, what's Discovery Channel, right? I said, well, it's a channel that's 18 hours a day, 6 hours of nothing. I want to do this. Let's cut a deal. I want to film your presentation. I want to take it down to Discovery, give them a percentage of sales, and I just need to know you and I can put this deal together. And he said, look, if this will get me off the street, off out of heaven to come to the fairs and the home shows, you know, I'm all in. So that's what we did. We filmed. I had never filmed anything before. Right. I mean, I was not a videographer. So I said to Arnold, let's do it. We shook hands, signed a deal. And so Arnold said, look, why don't we just do it right? He lived in New Jersey. Said there's a grocery store, closes at 8 p.m. I know the manager because I need to be around vegetables and because we're going to be cutting through a lot of stuff. So we shot it at the King's Supermarket in New Jersey, right? The infomercial, right?
I worked at a King's when I was 17 years old in New Jersey.
Oh, really? Oh, that's crazy.
So I'm intimately familiar. It might have been the one I even worked at.
Okay, that's where we shot this original show with Arnold Morris. And so we put it up on Discovery and it just went, phew, it just took off like crazy. And this was just local, Cincinnati. So then I said, I got to go to the National Discovery Channel. I went to the National Channel, signed a contract for a multi-year contract for all 6 hours nationwide. Wow. So when I was sitting with them, I said, I want the whole 6 hour block. They said, oh, well, you know, how much you willing to pay for it? And I said, look, you know, I'll give you $1,000 a day. And so for 6 hours. And we ended up getting it done. So at that deal. And so I'm like, in the very beginning, 3 a.m. to 5 a.m. wasn't very powerful, but as we got to 6 a.m. to 9, it was 3A to 9A was the 6 hour block, okay? As we got to like 6A, 7A, 7 a.m. to 9 a.m., we had Saturdays and Sundays. This time, we could do a whole lot of our sales on a couple of hours in the day or the week. But this thing, by the third year, that block of time was generating $28 million in sales.
Wow.
For a $365,000 media cost. So we were making money. And then we you know, we were doing Arnold. Then Arnold got smart. He said, hey, look, when you were at the Philadelphia Home Show, did you meet any of the other guys like me that had products? Because he was just one stand. And I said, I really didn't. I said, what are you thinking? He said, well, hey, I'd like to introduce you to all the other product guys. He says, but look, give me an agreement that you're going to give me a royalty on anything you do with Billy Mays, with John Parkin, with Sandy Mason, with Wally Nash.
So all these guys were at the, you know, basically dog and pony shows, like, you know, demonstrating.
All pitch people.
And they were great pitch people, right?
They spent their entire life learning how to pitch something, and they were the best at that particular product.
And so basically, you took them out of that circuit, put them on TV to create scale and leverage.
Exactly. We started with Arnold, and before we knew it, we had 25 infomercials, a lot of it in the kitchen. We were doing knives, we were doing blenders, we were doing mixers. Wally Nash said, I've got this hand-hammered Chinese wok that's hand-pounded, and they make them over in China. It's got the original pounding marks from it so that it can hold the meats and vegetables up and things as you're cooking, keep them warm, and you're hand pounding it. And so we did 4 million walks at over $50 a piece.
Wow.
So $200 million in Chinese, hand-hammered Chinese walks. What do we call it? The Great Walk of China, okay? And so, and it's so amazing because, I mean, now, we did that in 1988, by the way. Hundreds of millions of dollars. What are we bringing maybe back to the marketplace just recently? QVC came to us and said, can you bring us some of those old products you had from the old days? So we're actually now going to be bringing the hand-hammered Chinese wok back, potentially, right? So, but that was Arnold knew all these people. He was like their friend. And they're like, Arnold, you don't have to work anymore? He's like, I'm getting millions of dollars in the mail for not just doing my presentation one time. I mean,
All right. Okay. That was Kevin. Okay. And look, you have witnessed what we call yun yung entrepreneur's mind. Okay. Entrepreneur's mind is all about coming up with ideas, crazy ideas. Okay? Iba ang entrepreneur sa businessman. Ang businessman masyadong capital ang takbo ng utak na. Ang entrepreneur, ideas, 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 ideas that generates money. So, let me tell you this. Real currency is not money. Real currency are ideas. So, kailangan magaling kang mag-come up ng ideas. Yun yung sinasabi ko kaninang ibang mag-isip yung entrepreneur, ibang mag-isip yung businessman, ibang mag-isip yung empleyado. So, kailangan magkaroon, ma-adapt mo yung thinking process ng entrepreneur. Paano nila nakikita ang mundo? Paano silang come up ng ideas? Paano, well, kasi nga is they are problem solvers. They see a problem, they solve a problem. That's how it is. That's how you make a lot of money. Okay? So, nakita mo yung unang-una niyang sinabing guy na nakita niya, si Arnold. Okay? Guy, I mean, kid. You know, if you think this is glamorous, let me tell you, you know, 6 days ako dito, bukas punta ako sa 8 days. So he's all over the place. He's away from his family. Yes, he's making a lot of money, but it's very hard. It's hard work. Well, let me introduce to you the idea of hard work or working hard versus working smart. So, dito makikita mo si Kevin solve that problem by filming, okay, Arnold one time, and then ilalabas na lang sa TV ang yung na-film nila. And then from there, it will generate a lot of sales. Well, guys, kailangang maintindihan natin na right now, the employee mentality is, you know, pwede nyo nang burahin sa isip niyo. Okay? Wala nang job security ngayon. Sorry. Wala nang job security ngayon. A lot of businesses are closing. A lot of businesses will be, a lot of employees will be losing their jobs. Pagdating pa ng AI, yung AI will take over 80% ng lahat ng trabaho sa labas. Kaya, goodbye na. Yung employment mentality, goodbye. Okay? We need to change the way we see things. Kailangan nating makita ngayon ng ibang, kailangan nating tingnan natin ngayon ang mundo ng ibang paraan. Okay? So now, kagandahan nito ngayon is, katulad ng sinabi ni Kevin, we have the same chance or opportunity because lahat ngayon online na. So yung binanggit niya was cable TV, okay? Ngayon, online. Connected ka sa buong mundo. Okay? So there really is a chance na pwede kang lumaki. But, sabi ko nga, you have to know what you're doing. Dahil pag meron kang maling desisyon, pwedeng mawala yung business mo. Okay? Kaya napakahalagang maintindihan nyo kung paano mag-isip ang entrepreneur, paano magkaroon ng entrepreneurial mindset. Okay? Kailangan pa ba nating makapagtapos ng 4-year course para natin magawa ito? In my school, paano ko ba sasabihin to? Kasi hindi ito yung school ko. In my school, ginigiba ko talaga ang school. Okay? Yung education system, ginigiba ko yon because wala talagang natutunan. Walang tinuturo. Okay? But nevertheless, it's going to be probably too much for you. Let me just play another person na in-interview noong show na yon. Pangalan niya is Kim Kiyosaki. Siya naman yung asawa ni Robert Kiyosaki. Let's hear her, yung experience niya naman about what you call this, being an entrepreneur. Okay, here we go.
Did you ready?
Okay.
Educate.
Okay.
Did your education?
I did.
And-
Because I went to college with a business degree, but learned almost nothing.
Ulit.
Did your education?
I did.
And-
Because I went to college with a business degree, but learned almost nothing about how to be an entrepreneur.
There you go. Kahit napakumuha ka pa ng business. Sa klase ko, maraming kumuha ng business administration or business course. Pagdating sa klase ko, nga sila. Yun lang 48 laws of power na diniscuss ko kahapon. Meron akong webinar na 48 laws of power. Ng mga dinidiscuss ko na yung laws, may nag-comment na doon daw sa business class nila, sa business ethics, diniscuss daw nila yung 48 laws of power pero hindi daw na-explain ng maayos nung professor. And the problem nga is, hindi alam nung professor paano niyang i-discuss yun. Dahil hindi naman siya, hindi niya talaga maiintindihan yung 48 laws of power. Put it that way. Okay. So, nevertheless, let's continue.
This need still exists, and where we continue to put people through school, through college, and somehow think that being an entrepreneur, somehow we're supposed to know that from birth.
Yes, yes. And they keep trying to teach it in school, but it can't be taught unless somebody has actually been an entrepreneur, because you never know what you're going to face every single day.
Exactly. You'll never know what you're going to face every single day. Ang ibig sabihin is lagi kang prepared. You're always prepared for anything that can happen.
I think the keys to really being a successful entrepreneur, one is by far perseverance and resiliency. How well are you going to come back from a setback? I think that's probably the number one character trait of an entrepreneur is resiliency.
Oh, hindi ba yun din ang number one trait na hinahanap natin?
Because every day we're facing something we don't know, we're facing a problem, and if we back down from the problem, our business doesn't grow. We've got to push through and solve the problem, and oftentimes it's an unknown.
My mentor used to say the key to your success is how much discouragement can you take before you quit.
Yes, yes.
I wish it was something else, but that's the reality. So let's go back. You've started this.
And to that point, though, that's why when you start a business, there's got to be a strong reason why you're doing it. That's why I say when it has to solve a problem. Because if there's not a strong reason why, it's got to be bigger than just making money. Because if it's just to make money, exactly as you say, as you come up against those problems, you're going to quit. But if there's a bigger reason in your core, in your soul, for why you're taking on this challenge, when those tough times come, you'll keep going.
There you go. So, resiliency, how do you keep going? By being able to solve problems as they come. The problem with people is pagdating ng problema, para bang problema na naman, problema na naman, problema na naman. Wala na bang katapusan tong problema to? Walang katapusan ng problema. You have to accept that. So that means you have to be ready for any problem. Well, if you're not ready, pababagsakin ka ng problema. At pag bumagsak ka, some people just, hindi na nakakatayo. Mahirap 'yun. Hindi pwede yung ganun. Kaya natin pinag-aaralan 'to para maintindihan natin yung mga kailangan nating maintindihan para pag nagsisimula na tayo, nandoon na tayo, ginagawa na natin yung dapat natin gawin. Hindi nawawala ng problema. Puro problema technically lahat 'yan. Okay? Yung produkto mo sa manggagaling, yung bilis ng pagpoproseso mo, paano mong gagawin? Pag mabagal masyado ang proseso mo, paano mong padadaliin nang hindi magsasuffer ang quality. So, ang daming iniisip. Once na nasanay ka ng maraming iniisip na ganun, magiging second nature mo ngayon yun. Once na naging second nature mo ngayon yun, para ka na ngayong machine, para ka na ngayong makina na ang dami mo na ngayong idea, nakakapag-generate ka na, nakakapag-generate ng idea. Okay? So, technically hindi natin kailangan ng tawag ito ng college education to be an entrepreneur. You don't need a business course to be an technically meron pang nagsabi, okay? If you want to learn business, don't take a business course. See mo yun? If you want to learn business, don't take a business course. Learn from people who are already running a business. Okay? Pero siyempre, pipiliin mo pa rin kung sino yung marunong talaga magpatakbo ng business. So pagka meron ka, may nagtuturo sa iyo, nagpapatakbo ng business, and then nakikita mo parang it doesn't make sense yung tinuturo niya, parang step back, medyo aatras ka na, maghahanap ka na ng panibago. Dahil hindi lahat ng tao alam nila lahat yung ginagawa nila. Meron silang tamang ginagawa, pero mas marami yung mali nilang ginagawa. So, kailangan mo maintindihan paano mong kukunin yung tama, okay? At paano mong i-ignorein yung mali. Dahil pati mali, kinuha mo, nag-aksaya ka lang ng oras dahil gagawin mo siya uli. So, nagawa na niya, ginawa mo pa uli. So, yun yung idea doon. Okay. Ngayon, yung learning kasi, it's not just in the classroom, not just in college courses. Learning is a never-ending process. And let's continue with Kim Kiyosaki. Na-put down ko pala, hindi ko dapat pinot down yun. Here we go.
Start in a real estate, if that's the
No, I don't think it's ever too late to start. I know of a gentleman, he was 64 when he started, and also a professional. I think one of the mistakes we make is we spend everything we make. You know, the savings rates in America are dismal. People don't save, and I'm not an avid. I don't advocate saving for the long term. I advocate saving for your next investment. And so one of the things that Robert and I did early on is we called it the 3 piggy banks. And what we did is, this was a time when we had very little money. We had more money going out than was coming in. But we made a rule that with every single dollar that came into our household, we would take 30% off the top. 10% before we paid any bills. That money comes in 10% into a savings account, 10% into an investment account, and 10% into a tithing or charity account. And we did that religiously with every single dollar. And it was amazing how fast it built up, and it was amazing how fast you figured out how to pay those bills. And we did. So today we still follow the same rule. The percentages are just higher. But when you get into the habit, it's not how much. It's not necessarily you have to put 10%. It's the habit of putting that money aside, because it will grow really, really quickly, and that can be your first investment funding for you. So going back to our 64-year-old guy, he started small, started investing in real estate. He bought a duplex, and he bought a fourplex. And this was over time. He had saved up some money, and so he bought that, and he was making like $8,000 a month. And that was a great start for him. That was almost $100,000 a year without him working. And then what happens is you can live quite, not necessarily frugally, but keep putting some of that cash flow aside from the properties, and that cash flow then funds your next property, and then funds your next property. So it's not rocket science. It's just, number one is kind of developing the habit, getting some education, getting that first deal done, and then learning and learning and learning, and keep growing.
Okay, learning and learning and learning. So technically, kung mapapansin nyo, yung lahat ng mga napapakinggan natin, kahit na si Kim here, it's pretty much the same thing na sinasabi natin ang pagkakadesign nitong Sariling Hamon. It's pretty much the same thing. You have to put a little bit money down, and then pag kumikita ka na, don't think of luxuries. You have to think of business, okay? So ano yung susunod mong kailangan gawin magkano yung kakailanganin mo doon. So nagtatabi ka ng pera para doon. So that's the saving part. You're not saving for in the bank. That's not what she's talking about. And I'm hindi rin ako naniniwala sa ganun. But nevertheless, that's how you grow. You have to think growth. Kailangan yung iniisip ko, paano akong lalaki? Paano akong lalaki? Ano yung mga kailangan kong gawin? Paano ako lumaki? Dahil kasi hindi pwedeng yung dire-diretso lang ng ganoon ng walang paglaki, para bang yung karinderya sa tabi ng eskwelahan, para bang 10 years, 20 years na sila doon, pero yun pa rin. Okay, yun pa rin. Hindi magandang practice yun. Kailangan you're growing. Okay? You have to keep learning. Yung sa real estate na sinasabi niya, tinuturo ko din yun. Okay? Dahil mali din ang pagkakaintindi natin sa real estate. Even people in the real estate, mali ang pagkakaintindi sa real estate. Which is so weird. Kaya nga sabi ko siya, tinuturo ko, hindi naintindihan ng iba. O hindi yun ang naituro. Yung mga nagbebenta ng real estate, nasabi niya, bilhin na kayo, investment. No, it's not an investment. Okay? A house is not an investment. A house is a liability. Okay? Pag bumili ka ng bahay, tiniran mo, liability yon. Kasi you have to pay for the mortgage, kailangan mo yung bayad ng kuryente, bayad ng tubig, bayad ng upkeep, bayad lahat. So, ang ibig sabihin ng liability is yung pera lumalabas sa pitaka mo. Ang ibig sabihin ng asset, yung pera pumapasok o nagpapasok siya ng pera. Okay? So, yung sinasabi niya is ganito. Bumili ka ng property mo, gagawin mo yon, ipapa-generate mo ng income. So by ways of rental or Airbnb or what have you. So now, yung bahay, binabayaran niya yung sarili niya, sobra pa. So yung sobra ngayon na itatabi mo yon para pang-ipon ng susunod na down payment para sa susunod na bahay. So now you have 2 houses paying for itself, 2 houses nagge-generate ng income, makakabili ka na naman ng pangatlo. So in business, ganun din. Problema kasi nga, pag meron na tayong nakitang pera, gastos. Hindi pwede yun. Yung luxury, kailangan ilagay mo dun sa dulo. Okay? So, ibig sabihin, pwede kang maglagay ng benchmarking mo. Sabi mo, okay, bibili ako ng kotse pag ang kita ko nasa 10 milyon na. Yung iba, kung may kita pa lang ng 50,000, bumibili na ng kotse. No, that's the wrong idea because a car is a liability. Puro liability ang pinagbibili natin eh. Yung liability yun yung tumatalo sa atin. Yun yung gumigiba sa atin. Okay? So yun yung sinasabi ni Kim doon. Okay? So kagandahan nga ngayon, we pwede na tayo mag-business ng we don't have to rent business establishment because we now have access to online marketing, online video presentation. Pwede kang gumawa ng sarili mong commercial, i-film mo and then ilagay mo sa YouTube. That's already marketing, okay? And then the investment eventually it's going to happen. Pag kumikita na kayo, kailangan nyo maintindihan ng investment. Tinuturo ko din yon. Okay? Pagdating naman sa investment, sasabihin nila, there are risks, there are investment that are high risk, and there are investment that are low risk. Mali lahat yun. Okay? Walang high risk na investment. The only risk is you. So you're the high risk. Dahil hindi mo alam yung investment. Kailangan alam mo yun. Lahat ng yung punot dulo nun, alam mo dapat lahat yon. So that nasa sayo ngayon ng risk. Ikaw ang nag-handle ng risk. Ikaw ang nag-assess ng risk. So it's not the investment that is risky. It's you. Okay? Kaya pabalik lagi. Hindi ko napapansin nyo eh. Laging pabalik eh. Laging pabalik sa atin eh. Kaya kailangan nating pagalingin yung sarili natin. That's the main thing. Yun yung change na kailangan nating magawa. Lalong-lalo na nga yung time. Kunyari, yung meron tayong not kunyari, but yung tinatawag na Filipino time. Kailangan tapusin na natin yung Filipino time na yun. Walang mangyayari sa atin. Okay? We have to understand that time, yung time natin, yun yung commodity natin, yun yung pera natin. Time is money. So pag lagi kang mali, lagi kang mali, lagi kang late, I'm sorry. Pag lagi kang late, you're losing business. You are losing business. Okay? And then, the latter part, okay, tuloy na lang natin to.
To me, this almost goes back all the way to the beginning to the cash flow game.
Yeah.
It's getting your mind, just the basics of this to build on. I marvel at this, that I've had a long entrepreneurial career with spectacular highs and equally spectacular
We all have.
crashes.
We all
When you
have.
auger one of these into the ground, it is not pretty. And if I had it all to do over again, I would have built what you guys built, where you made yourself financially free, and that's the point where you can decide
Yes,
to
that-
take these entrepreneurial risks.
Yeah, that was the luxury point where we said, what is it we want to do? And I love that you say the cash flow game, because we are very much getting back to the core mission of why we started the Rich Dad Company, and that was the cash flow game, and it was people teaching people. So we actually have launched a whole new initiative where we are putting a lot of time and attention into these cash flow clubs, supporting the clubs, giving them more education, actually letting them turn it into a business if they want to. Some people just want to play the game and they want to learn, and they teach each other and they learn from each other and they invest from there. But we have something that's very unique that nobody else has, which is the cash flow game. So we really want to applaud the people that are using it and playing it and learning from it and actually teaching other people financial education. That's the core to us, and that's where we're going to put all of our time and attention.
Well, I love the movement that you started, and what you guys, I don't know, really, I can't think of anyone else who's had a more positive impact on people's finances than what you and Robert built.
Yeah, thank you.
And I love that you did that, and love that you're still enthralled with it today.
Yeah, I am. I'm working on a new real estate deal right now.
Of course you are.
And we're working on those cash flow games, and Robert's writing more books. And I think the most important thing is when we travel all over the world, when somebody comes up and says, thank you for the work you've done, that's the most humbling thing of all. And we don't do it for the money. We don't do it for the acknowledgement. We set out to, as Buckminster Fuller said, where can you be of best contribution? He said, don't ask what it is you want to do. What is it God wants you to do? And so that's what we keep following. What are we here to do? Where can we make the greatest contribution? And that's what drives us.
Right. Okay. So, napansin nyo, sinabi niya na people, teaching people. That's our design. Yun yung pagkaka-design ng Sariling Hamon. People teaching people. You will be teaching other people as well. Okay? And then, yung lalago ng lalago yun, palapad ng palapad. And then, paglapad nun, and then pataas naman. Okay? Problema kasi ng tao, ang bilis, gusto nilang tumaas agad eh. Hindi pwede, magpalapad ka muna bago ka tumaas. Ang problema pagka maliit ang base mo, tataas ka, madaling tumumba. Pero pag malapad ka, at saka tataas, yun ang matatag. Okay? Yun ang kailangan yung maintindihan. Financial education, ituturo namin sa inyo lahat yan dahil kasi nga, ang tao gastador. ang bilis pagkagastusan eh. Okay? Kailangan yung maintindihan yun. Sabi ko nga, kailangan natin gawin yung ayaw nating gawin. Gusto mo nang bumili ng kotse, hindi pa pwede. Okay? Gusto mo nang bumili ng bahay, hindi pa pwede. Palakihin mo muna yung kailangan nating palakihin. Let it grow. Okay? And then sabi niya, don't think of what you want to do. Think of what God wants you to do. And anong mas maganda kung hindi yung maisali natin dito yung mga taong nangangailangan matuto kung paano nilang maiaayos yung kabuhayan nila, paano nilang maiaayos yung kinabukasan nila, paano nilang mapapatatag yung pamilya nila at saka yung buhay nila hanggang sa next generation and to the next. Okay. So, para maintindihan natin, I'll give you a recap noong nasa first video yung model natin para makita nyo na Pareho halos. Okay? Yan. Pareho. Okay. So, sabi nga, be a catalyst of creating a nano-entrepreneurship, be a cellhead. Ang cellhead, ayan. So meron tayo ngayong obligation na magtabi ng pera. Yung tinatabi nating pera niya, okay? Hindi yan para gastusin sa ibang bagay. May purpose yan. Kasi kailangan natin magtabi ng pera para ipon tayo ng capital base na pagtutulong-tulungan ng mga tao. So, as a cell head, yan ang yan ang obligasyon mo. And then, yung mga cell member na nakasama mo, ganun din. Okay? Magtatabi sila ng 10 pesos a day, magiging 300 a month yan. Sa loob ng 6 months, that will be 1,800. So, lahat kayo may 1,800 na naitabi. And then, ang cell head merong extra na tinatawag na extra obligation dahil being a cell head. Meron siyang extra $15 15 pesos a day, 15 pesos a day na additional niyang tinatabi na lumalabas na 450 a month. In 6 months, that will be 2,700. So ngayon, meron na kayo ngayong base na 9,900 na hindi kayang gawin ng nag-iisa. So meron na kayong capital base na 9,900. So from here, lalaki ngayon yan, okay? Magiging tinatawag nating cluster. So yung cluster naman is composed of 3 cells, okay? Yeah, that could be different businesses na ginagawa. That could be different products na ginagawa, okay? So ang tawag natin ngayon dyan cluster. So kung ang isang cell merong 9,900, kaya mangyayari ngayon yan dahil cell 1, cell 2, cell 3, yung isang cluster na yun meron na siyang capital base na 29,700. Ang kagandahan nito is hindi yan pinagsasama-sama, okay, na maaring ma-exploit ng ibang tao na katulad yung naririnig nyo sa mga nangyayari sa gobyerno, sa SSS, sa PhilHealth na merong gumagalaw nung sa GSIs, may gumagalaw nung pondo. Ito, kayo lahat ang kayo lahat ang may hawak niyan, yun lang number ang pinagsasama-sama. Pero yung pera nasa sa inyo, nasa sa each and every one of those members. Okay. So, pagkatapos ng cluster, you have to keep building it. Kaya nga helping people teaching people. Hanggang sa maging 3 yung cluster. Pag naging 3 na yung cluster, ang tawag natin ngayon dyan is what happened? Okay. Ang tawag natin ngayon dyan is satellite. So, yung isang cluster is may 29,700. So, now, meron na kayong 89,100 na capital base. Dahil sa pagtutulong-tulong ng tao, yung maliit na bagay, lumalaki. Okay? Ito yung tinatawag nating social entrepreneurship or sociopreneurship. Although mas maliit ito kasi sa micro-entrepreneurship, kaya tinatawag nating nano-entrepreneur. Okay? It doesn't really matter ganong kaliit yan, lahat ng maliit lumalaki. Dahil God's plan for everything is growth. And you need to understand this. That means everyone must be growing. You should be growing. Your business should be growing. Your life should be growing. Everything must be growing. The problem nga is, na-hamper yun ng maling turo. So, ang akala natin competition ang key. No, competition is not key. Working together is the key. Okay? Working together is the key. So now, individual financial capability of 1,800 will automatically make him part of a bigger capital structure of 150,000 pesos. So mangyayari ngayon is na magkakaroon tayo ng access na mga government agencies na pwedeng tumulong sa atin dahil number 1, organized na tayo, tumatakbo na, ibig sabihin, nagpo-produce na, and then meron kang capital base, mas madali na ngayong makakuha ng additional funding, government programs that can actually help us na makapunta doon sa susunod na level. Okay? Yun yung main idea dito. It's very, very beautifully designed. And ang kagandahan dito is this. Tinuturo ko dito sa entrepreneurship class ko. Ang sinasabi ko lagi is this. Because I have a plan. Okay? Sabi ko, the world is not according to Donald Trump. The world is not according to Mahatma Gandhi. The world is not according to sino ba ba? Martin Luther King. The world is not according to anyone. The world is not according to me. The world is according to the world. Okay? The world, Earth, okay? May sariling system yan. Okay? Pag ikaw gumawa ng system that doesn't agree with the system ng world, magko-collapse yun. Okay? Ano yung system ng world? Ang system ng world is sustainability. Self-sustain ang world. Okay? So now we're talking about ecosystem. Itong pagkaka-design na to, parang ecosystem yan. Okay? Kaya yun yung tinatawag na another tawag ko dito is interdependent business community. Nagtutulungan lahat yan para lumaki lahat. And this is the best design. Yeah, you are in the right place. Okay, you are in the right place. This is a great design because this is not according to anyone. This is according to how the world works, which is sustainable. So kailangan natin resiliency at saka self-reliance. So resiliency, self-reliance, and then compare with sustainability, siguradong model yun. Siguradong, that's a win. That's a winning type of model. Okay? So may kasunod pa ba ito? Wala na. Okay. Okay. So, let's see. Okay. All right. Andiyan pa ba kayo? Hindi ba kayo pagod? Okay pa? Okay pa? All right. All right. Good, good, good. Yeah, show me thumbs up para naman para alam ko hindi pa kayo tulog. Okay. All right. So, meron akong isa pang video na ipapapanood sa inyo na another entrepreneurship, another entrepreneur na maririnig ninyo na doon din sa same sa same interview na yun, pakinggan natin ang sasabihin niya. Okay? Si Alexander to eh. Saan ba siya? Ayun.
Just walked with Alexander recently, and here's what happened. So,
Okay.
Alex.
Let me share it. Okay. All right.
Thank you for being here. I've been looking forward to this interview.
Thanks for having me.
So tell us a little bit about who you are and what it is that you do.
Okay, well, my name is Alec Green. I live in Charlottesville, Virginia, and Orlando, Florida, share homes there. And I'm the chief investment strategist of the Oxford Club, which is a private club that's dedicated to showing people how to achieve and maintain financial independence. And essentially, I write about what's happening in the world and the economy and the markets and make recommendations that people can act on to further their net worth.
So how did you get to this? There has to be a story here.
So there's a long and winding road.
Good, let's take it.
Well, let me begin by saying I've always been fascinated by money. I came from a very middle-class household in a small town, Stanton, Virginia. I often say I grew up in a Norman Rockwell painting, a little quiet town in the Shenandoah Valley. And we had a few people in our town who were very wealthy, and I sort of looked up to those people. Every time they needed to raise money for some project or some worthy cause, whatever, they would go to these people first. And I always thought, like, wow, what did these people do? They must be a little smarter, a little sharper, worked a little harder. And I was fascinated by money, how it's earned, how it compounds, how it's created, and so forth. But unfortunately, in school, they really don't teach you much about money.
Right.
You know,
In school, they really don't teach you much about money. And you know what? Kahit na pa economics pa yan, hindi pa rin tinuturo ang pera.
most high schools in the United States still don't even teach basic personal finance. It's as if money is something that either doesn't really matter or you're just supposed to figure it out on your own. And so people graduate from high school and they don't know what compound interest is or a 401k or what an adjustable rate mortgage is or why we even have a stock market. And then oftentimes they go off to college, and their professors tell them that we live in this unfortunate economic system. It's based on greed and selfishness and exploitation, which is such a mischaracterization, because the beautiful thing about capitalism is it says you can have anything you want if you just provide enough other people what they want.
Aha, see, kita nyo yun? Actually, si Zig Ziglar nagsabi nun. You can have everything you want in life if you just help enough people get what they want out of life. It's a very powerful concept, and even the rich people knows it.
I mean, what a beautiful foundation. So that's not greed and selfishness. That's they want is, it says you can have anything you want if you just provide enough other people what they want. I mean, what a beautiful foundation. So that's not greed and selfishness. That's how do you get rich? By helping other people get what they want. And the more
See, how do you get rich? By helping other people get what they want.
people you help, the richer you'll get. People like helping other people get what they want. And the more people you help, the richer you'll get. People like Jeff Bezos and Bill Gates have helped millions and millions of people, probably billions, and so they're billionaires themselves. So I've always been fascinated by money. I think a lot of people are fascinated in how to spend it, but I'm interested in how to grow it. And so I majored in business and psychology in college, and then not long afterwards I found myself working in the money management industry, and I became my passion to show people how to achieve and maintain financial independence. And so I retired from Wall Street actually almost 20 years ago now, and I've devoted my professional career to showing everyday people how to become wealthy. And I say how to become wealthy because there are principles of wealth creation that are well understood, but just not by most people. So I talk about those things, write about them regularly, and show people the path to financial independence.
Yeah. So, sabi niya, there are principles of money that are well known to people who knows who makes them, pero kakaunti ang nakakaalam. Kaya nga napakahalaga na ma-share natin sa tao yung mga natututunan natin. So, paano tayo mag-share ng natututunan natin kung hindi tayo nag-aaral? So, yun yung link nun eh. Kailangan we have to keep learning, and what we're learning, we're teaching other people as well. And like what I'm doing, I'm also teaching you. I have a school of my own. I teach people how to be entrepreneur, and I am creating a new breed of entrepreneur. Ibig sabihin ng new breed of entrepreneur is pinag-aaralan namin lahat ng mistakes na ginawa in the past so that hindi na uulitin ulit. Okay? So that pagka naiiwasan na ngayon yung mistakes, pag alam mo na lahat yung mistakes, then mas maganda ngayon yung takbo mo, mas maayos, mas kalkulado mo lahat ng hakbang mo. Okay? Wala kang stress. Yeah, dahil you're confident na tama lahat yung hakbang mo, meron kang, we're giving about 2% chance of making mistakes. That's it, 2%. So that means it's very manageable. Madaling i-manage. Para sa taong hindi ready, baliktad. It's about 97% chance of failure. So, yun yung binaliktad namin. Okay, so, sabi nga ng mga in-interview doon sa show na yon. Yeah, resiliency, sabi nga ni Kim, is I think the number one character trait that we should all possess in order for us to be able to go all the way through. Dahil if not, magkukwit ka lagi eh. Lagi kang magkukwit. And we've seen that over and over again. Yun yung sinasabi nga na tingnan natin, kung pag-aralan natin lahat ng mistakes ng tao. Ano yung karamihang mistakes ng tao? Nag-quit in the middle. They lose steam, kalagitnaan. Nawawala na ng gana, kalagitnaan. Always happens. Paulit-ulit yan. So, anong sagot doon? Resiliency. How do you develop resiliency? You have to understand yourself. You have to master yourself. Okay, that's another thing na tinuturo ko is self-mastery. I will share that with you. Because pag hindi mo master ang sarili mo, walang mangyayari. Dahil you're always dependent on other people's point of view. Si ganito yung ginawa eh. Ito yung sabi sa akin eh. Kung sino-sino ang sinusunod natin, wala tayong sariling paninindigan. Why? We don't know how to think. Hindi tayo marunong mag-isip. And that's the problem. Okay? So, kailangan natin matutong mag-isip, kailangan natin ma-develop yung self-resiliency natin, and to be able to do that, kailangan nating ma-master yung sarili natin so that we maintindihan natin yung ma-master natin yung sales, ma-master natin yung negotiation, ma-master natin yung operation ng business, yung paano palalakihin ng business, yung financials, kailangan ma-master natin lahat yun. Okay? And lucky for you, ituturo namin sa inyo lahat yun. Okay? So, tingnan natin kung ano yung susunod dito. Okay. So, that's the end of part 1. Let's take a little breather. Let's take a 5 minutes break. So, I can use the CR then. And if you need to use the CR, please do so. And let's get back here for 5-10 minutes. Is that okay? Yes? Thumbs up? Ayaw? Ayaw nyo mag-break? Okay, sige. Okay, good. Thank you. Okay, so I'll see you in about 5-10 minutes, all right? Okay. Simula tayo. You hear me good, right? Nairinig niyo ako na maayos? Okay. So, bakit ko kailangan i-play yung mga video na yun sa inyo kanina? Bakit ko kailangan ipakita sa inyo yan? Para maintindihan ninyo na kahit na yung mga taong successful entrepreneur, kahit na sila nandoon sa first world country and they're making millions dahil dun sa mga ideas na naiisip nila, walang pinagkaiba yon sa ginagawa natin dito. Okay? Lahat yun nagsimula rin ng maliit. So, technically talagang lahat magsisimula ng maliit. Pero nga, the key is growth. Kailangan lumalaki. Hindi pwedeng mananatiling maliit ka lang. Hindi ka pwedeng small time, sabi nga. You have to be growing all the time. You have to be getting better all the time. You have to be developing all the time. You have to be learning all the time. You have to be progressing all the time. Lahat yan. Okay? Dahil pagka wala yun, ibig sabihin stagnant. Pag stagnant, mabubulok. And yun ang kadalasan nangyayari. Nakikita natin yan paulit-ulit. So, kahit na paanong business ka-involved, okay? Whether you are in the art or trading or agriculture or processing, entrepreneurship is about developing a product, creating a product, goods, services na can help either solve problems or alleviate a problem for other people. And really, in a nutshell, bottom line is, ang entrepreneur is about solving problems, providing solutions to problems. And yun yung talagang main idea ng entrepreneurship. So, i-recap ko lang yung mga videos kanina. Okay? Lahat sila halos pare-pareho ng sinasabi, okay? That the education system hindi tayo tinuruan, hindi tayo na-prepare paano nating how to deal with problems in life. And so para bang kanya-kanyang diskarte, bahala na si Batman, kung umokay, kung hindi umokay, magtiis, you know. We have to get out of that, okay? Hindi nila tayo tinuruan, ang school system, hindi tayo tinuruan maging successful. Hindi tayo tinuruan na paano humawak ng pera, hindi tayo tinuruan ng financial education, hindi tayo tinuruan how to become a problem solver, okay? Sabi nga ni Kim, learning is a never-ending process. We have to continue learning, okay? And also that kailangan nagtuturo din tayo. Yung mga natututunan natin na magandang bagay na nagwo-work sa sarili natin, na ituturo natin. Okay? Kahit na walang intensyong mag-business yung tao, na ituturo mo. Sabi, saan mo nakukuha tong mga idea na to? Ang gaganda na tong mga idea na to. Well, kasi meron akong ginagawa. Pwede ba akong sumama dyan? Boom! See? Kahit na hindi mo na siya niyayaya, sila na ngayon nagkakaroon ng kusang gusto nilang sumama dahil kasi ang dami nilang natututunan sa'yo dahil kasi nagtuturo ka ng nagtuturo. Technically, kung marirecall ninyo, this is what we call the golden rule. Okay? Kung ano yung tinanim mo, siyang aanihin mo. Sa labas, iba ang ibig sabihin ng golden rule. Ang ibig sabihin ng golden rule sa labas is the one who holds the gold rules. Okay? No. Dito, we back going to basics. Ito yung tunay na proven na nagwo-work talaga because that's nature. Kung anong tinanim mo, siyang tutubo. Siya yung magbubunga. Okay? Kung tinanim mo mangga, hindi magbubunga yan ng bayabas. Kung tinanim mo mangga, ang bunga niyan mangga. So, pag meron kang tinanim, meron kang aanihin. That's the law of nature. And it happened to be the golden rule. So, maganda talaga yung you're sharing your knowledge, you're sharing the things that you're learning to other people so that other people are also able to learn and apply yung mga bagay na yun sa buhay nila. Okay? Although yung mga business natin, yung business entity natin hindi nag-iisip, tayo as the tao na nagpapatakbo ng business, tayo yung nag-iisip. Okay? Para maintindihan natin kung saan natin dadalhin, kung ano yung daan na tatahakin natin, kung ano yung mga kailangan natin para makarating tayo dun sa pupuntahan natin, ano yung mga other profitable and sustainable na productive activities na katulad yung inisip ni inisip ni Kevin na 6 hours na walang naka-air doon sa Discovery Channel. Paano kung malalagyan ng content yon? So isip siya ngayon. It's isip ng isip. Okay? It's all about growth. Nung punta siya sa Discovery Channel na local nila sa lugar niya sa Cincinnati, tumatakbo na, and then nung nakita niyang maayos yung takbo, I have to go to the national. So now it's all about growth. You have to think of growth, okay? Growth. And that is easier to do now than then kasi we now have internet. Mas mabilis ngayon. Okay? Mas maganda ngayon. Mas mabilis. And the difference is sila solo flight, solopreneur, ang tawag natin doon. Tayo is sociopreneur. Magkakasama tayong nag-grow, nagpo-progress, lumalaki. Okay. Now, maaring yung iba sa inyo may mga karanasan na sa pagbe-business, maaring nakapag-business na yung iba sa inyo, maaring yung iba wala pang experience sa pagbe-business dahil dati kayong empleyado, pero kailangan nyo lang maintindihan ngayon is everyone is in the same footing. Okay? Everyone is in the same footing. Kung ano man yung experience natin from the past, hindi na kailangan yon. Okay? Dahil sinabi ko nga kanina, ang daming mali. So, kailangan ayusin lahat yon. So now, kung wala ka pang experience sa business, matututunan mo ngayon yung tama. Kesa you go through the trial and error pa. Okay? Everybody goes through trial and error. I don't know why, bakit they have to go through trial and error. Dahil meron unang nag-trial and error. Dapat yung unang trial and error, yun lang. Tapos, kung ano yung nag-work, gagayahin na lang yung nag-work. And problema, everybody goes through trial and error. Everybody has their own meaning of the word success. Kaya nagkakaloko-loko. Okay? Okay, let me touch on that a little bit. People always have this notion na success depends on your meaning of it. Okay, eto na. Right? Suppose meron tayong 100 people. Tinanong natin, what is the meaning of success? And then sabihin natin sa kanila, isulat nyo yung meaning of success and isubmit nyo. Ang tanong ko is this, ganong karaming different meaning of success yung matatanggap natin? You'd probably say about 100 or halos lahat, they all have their meaning of success. Okay? Now, here's the next question. Sino sa kanila ang tama? So, naiintindihan nyo ngayon. Okay? I want you to think of success as a combination lock. Okay? Combination lock. Or kahit na telepono, your phone number mo. Okay? Merong number na kailangan mong i-input, merong sequence of events na kailangan mong sequence na kailangan mong paano i-input yung tamang number, okay? At pag nagawa mo lahat 'yon, then makukuha mo yung dapat mong makuha. Kumbaga doon sa combination lock, yung numbers at saka yung kung kailan mo ipapasok yung number na 'yon. Hindi pwedeng pagbali-balik ta rin 'yon. Hindi bubukas 'yon, okay? Pag naipasok mo siya ng tamang number, the right sequence, walang choice yung lock kung hindi bumukas. Now, think of success that way. Okay? Yung phone number, ganun din. Okay? Yung pag-denial mo yung 0917-978-2198, sigurado ako ang sasagot doon. Iisang tao lang yung pupuntahan doon. Ako yun. Okay? So that means, pag denial mo lahat yung number na yon, you know the ending. The ending is me. Okay? Paano ngayon kung nagkabaliktad yung dalawang numero nun? Ako pa kaya sasagot nun? Hindi na, di ba? So that means, kailangan you have the right ingredients and you have the right sequencing. And then, lalabas ang success. So, ang ibig sabihin nun is, kahit na paanong meaning ng success mo, baliwala. Dahil success has its own way. And kailangan mong ibigay sa kanya yung hinihingi niya, and then tsaka pa lang niya ibibigay sa iyo what you are after. Naintindihan niyo yun? Kaya sabi sa inyo, daming sablay ang pagkakaturo. Okay, so, kape kayo dyan. Ang laki ng cup ko. So, iwanan na natin sa past lahat nung tawag ito, lahat nung experiences natin, lahat ng mistakes natin, it doesn't matter anymore. We are here to learn how to do it properly, how to do it right. Ito laging may hindi tamang pasok yung when we say how to do it right. How to be, kumbaga paano mong mag-guarantee yung success, na mag-guarantee mo ba talaga yung success? Ang sagot sa lahat ng yon, oo. Yes. Pero dahil nga hindi yun ang turo sa atin, parang ang hirap tanggapin. Talaga? Pwede mong i-guarantee yung success? Yes. I just told you. The luck. You think, isipin mo yung combination luck is success, and that's how it is. So ngayon, pag-aralan mo ngayon lahat ng tao, makikita mo yung mga super successful, makikita mo halos pare-pareho lahat yung ginagawa nila. On different fields, different context, pero pare-pareho lahat. Kumbaga yung combination luck, ibang numbers. Pero yun pa rin, sequence, the right numbers and the right sequence. Yun pa rin. Okay? Kaya kailangan maintindihan yun. Ngayon, para lang ma-prove ko sa inyo na success can be guaranteed, because that's one thing that eludes us, na para ba siyang napakadulas na palos na hindi natin mahawak-hawakan. Let me introduce to you The Art of War. Art of War is a book na isinulat thousands of years back by a guy named Sun Tzu. Ang sabi niya, if you know yourself and you know the enemy, you need not fear the result of 100 battles. Wow. Pag kilala mo ang sarili mo at kilala mo ang kalaban mo, yung 100 battles, panalo ka lagi. If you know yourself, but not the enemy, for every victory gained, you will suffer defeat. So ito yung manalo, matalo. Sometimes mananalo, sometimes matatalo. And then yung last clause niya is, if you know neither, kung hindi mo alam, hindi mo kilala ang sarili mo, hindi mo kilala ang kalaban mo, hindi ka mananalo. So may paraan talaga. Kaya yung mayaman, lalong yumayaman dahil alam nila yung paraan. Hindi itinuro yun sa karamihan. So dito, matututunan nyo yun. Okay? Is that okay? Is that good? Do you want to learn that? All right, all right. Okay. So, so let's say kunyari, papasok kayo ng business, you're thinking of starting something, okay? You're thinking of starting something, we have to decide. You have to decide kung anong klaseng business yung gagawin mo, sisimulan mo. Dahil nandito kayo, meron ng model yung papasukan nyo rito. Pero you still have a chance, meron pa rin kayong input na magpasok ng idea na maring wala pa. Dahil siyempre, nagsisimula pa lang, unti-unti lang namin inilalagay yung so that yung mga bagong papasok, hindi mabobombard ng sobrang daming option. Okay? So, konti din yung option na binibigay namin sa simula para lang hindi ma-overwhelm yung tao, hindi malito. And then habang lumalaki tayo, nagdadagdag ng mga bagong business concepts, business ideas, business products and services and all these stuff, so that habang mapasok ang tao na fill in natin lahat yun, because lahat yun, kumbaga tagni-tagni lahat yun eh. They're all linked together. They're all working together. Okay? Yun yung design nito. Kaya napakaganda nito eh. Okay. So as entrepreneurs, let us decide what type of business we want to get into. And then i-assess natin yung resources natin na meron tayo, and to make use of it in a wisely, combining all those limited means and resources para ma-achieve natin yung goal natin. So, to organize our discussions, let's let respective cell head be the leader, spokesman for each business interest. So, I will call out the people who are cell heads and leaders. Okay, let's see, Mrs. Herrera. Okay, Mrs. Herrera, Mr. Jamias, Mr. Mar de Cara, Miss Dang Carmen, Miss Maricel, or Miss Glenda. Okay, for those who does not have any cell group, you may initially join the group of your interest. Yung mga wala pang group, pwede kayo makipag connect doon sa mga heads na yon para maintindihan nyo kung saan kayo fit. Okay? Or maybe baka meron pa silang extra mga taong available na makabuo pa ng isa pang group. So, communicate with them. Okay? Okay. May mga taong, making decision by identifying what type of business they want to get into. Sila yung nagko-conduct ng market assessment, and then sila rin yung nagre-raise ng capital required para sa business nila. And then meron din mga taong nagde-decide na conducting a resource evaluation first, yung mga market research, feasibility study, ganyan, and raise the needed capital. Okay? So ngayon, ang gagawin natin is kayo naman ngayon gagawa ng decision, okay? For your first assignment, gagawa kayo ng decision. Ang unang decision na pagdidesisyonan nyo is saang way kayo pupunta. Okay? Based on what is available, ano yung way na pupuntahan natin. Ito na ba yung dali ha? Education, arts, trading, agriculture, processing. I think ito na yung okay? These are the type of field we will be investing on, and choices are as follows. Okay, number 1, meron tayong education, Meron tayong arts, meron tayong trading, meron tayong agriculture, and then meron tayong processing. So yun yung mga pwede niyong pagpilian ngayon. And madadagdagan pa yan. Technically, pagdating sa education, sasabog pa yan. Napakaraming education. Pagdating sa arts, sasabog yan. Pagdating sa trading, sasabog yan. Pagdating sa agriculture, sasabog yan. Kasi napakaraming pwedeng itanim. Pagdating sa processing, sasabog din yan. So for now, yan yung pinaka-main pagpipilian ninyo para makapagsimula kayo ng groups ninyo. Okay? So for the first assignment, yun yung unang-una yung kailangang ma-decide. Mag-decide kayo. Kung meron kayong group, mag-decide kayo. Saan nyo gusto magpunta? Sa agriculture, sa processing, sa arts, education. Yun yung unang-una yung i-decide, and that should be submitted in 2 days. So this means by Tuesday night, Sunday ngayon. So by Tuesday night, kailangan na i-submit nyo na yung number 1 assignment. Okay? Kailangan nyo ding maintindihan, okay? Kailangan nyo maintindihan ito. Yung first business principle, okay? Yung business identity, okay? Yung business identity is separate and distinct from your own personal identity. Okay? Yung mga owners. So, kailangan maintindihan, iba yung business entity, iba yung identity ng mga owners. Okay? Yung business, meron siyang sarili niyang financial needs. Okay? Yung mga each individual, meron din silang kani-kanyang pangangailangan ng financial needs na involved doon sa business. Okay? This is the primary reason why in our previous program briefing na pinakita namin sa inyo yung schedule ng family income na kailangan nating maintindihan. Let me give you another secret sa buhay. Okay? Doon sa eskwela, kung ano-anong math ang itinuro sa atin, and kaya ang dami mga taong natatakot sa math. Dahil hindi nila maintindihan. Algebra, trigonometry, calculus, what have you. Ando yun na lahat. Pero sa buhay, isang klaseng math lang ang kailangan mo. Technically, hindi pa nga siya math, arithmetic. Yun lang ang kailangan mo, okay? Addition, subtraction, division, multiplication. That's it. Dahil hindi nga tayo tinuruan saan naka-apply itong addition, subtraction, multiplication, division, hindi natin may ayos-ayos yung buhay natin. I mean, iisipin mo lang to. Okay? Nagtatrabaho ka, kumikita ka. Alam mo kung magkano kita mo. Alam mo kung magkano ang kita mo. Given yon. Okay? Doon sa kita mo, kailangan mong mabuhay, so merong gastusin. Ang tanong is, yun bang gastos mo, sumosobra doon sa kita mo? Kung sumosobra, bakit mo pinapayagang sumobra? Alam mo, eto lang ang income mo. And then, ang expense mo, ganon. Okay? Bumilang ka ng 6 months, ang kalaki. So, tayo mismo ang nagpapabaon sa sarili natin. Palalim tayo ng palalim hanggang sa hindi na halos tayo makahinga, hanggang dito tayo nakalubog. Yun na yung, and then pretty much mangyayari is, mangungutang ka ngayon sa isa para makapagbayad ka ng utang sa isa. Nako, lalo ka nang lulubog nun, hindi ka na makakaahon nun. Ang daming taong ganyan. So, kailangan nating maintindihan na arithmetic lang ang buhay. Okay? Alam mo kung magkano yung income mo, alamin mo kung magkano yung labas ng pera mo. Ang problema, hindi natin inaalam. Basta gastos lang tayo ng gastos. So, kailangan alamin mo yun. Okay? Kailangan alamin mo yun. Dahil pag hindi mo alam yun, mas lalaki ang gastos mo kaysa sa income mo. Kaya doon pinapakomplika ng tao yung mga buhay nila. Okay? It's so simple. Okay? Sabi kanina ni Kim Kiyosaki, yung tatlong piggy bank. Meron silang piggy bank for savings, meron silang piggy bank para sa investment, and then meron silang piggy bank para sa tithing. Isipin mo yun. That's 30%, 10, 10, 10. Why? Dahil naiintindihan nila magkano yung pasok, iniintindi nila yung paano lumalabas. So, para ma-secure yung buhay nila, bago pa lahat ng gastusin, nakatabi na yung tatlong 10 na yon. So, napakahalaga ng principle. That's just arithmetic. Basic arithmetic lang yon. And that's all you need in life. Arithmetic. Okay? 1 plus 1 is 2. Okay? 2 plus 2 is 4. 2 minus 1 is 1. 2 minus 3 is negative 1. I mean, we know this. And yet, we perpetuate it. Pinapayagan natin ganun. So, tayo nagpapahirap sa sarili natin. Okay? So, ito yung mga bagay na kailangan natin maintindihan. Kasi once na nag-business na tayo, hindi na pwede yun. Okay? Kumbaga, lahat ng galaw natin, lahat ng hakbang natin, defined. Walang hakbang na unsure, na walang hakbang na hindi sigurado. Lahat ng hakbang mo dapat sigurado. Dahil pag humahakbang ka ng hindi sigurado, hindi mo alam kung saan ka mauuwi niyan. Okay. So, let's continue. Pag hindi natin nagawa yun, okay? Pag hindi natin nagawa yun, hindi tayo makakapag-focus yung developing yung business natin dahil i-consume yung buong substantial productive time natin para masatisfy yung personal needs natin. Kaya sabi ko nga, yung personal needs, yung luxury especially, sa huli yun. Okay? Sa huli yun. Hindi yun sa harap. Okay? So yung mga nakikita nyo sa Facebook na nasa network marketing, okay? Nasa network marketing, and then pinagmamalaki niyang kumikita na siya, and then maya-maya mo nakikita mo meron na siyang biniling kotse, and then makikita mo ang dami nagko-congratulate sa kanya, huwag kayong mainggit doon. Poor mentality yun. Yun ang utak mahirap. Okay? Kung gusto mong yumaman, kailangan lagyan mo gawin mong utak mayaman din yung utak mo. Dahil gusto mong yumaman, then utak mahirap ang utak mo, then yung action ng mahirap, yun ang gagawin mo. Ano yung action ng mahirap? They buy liabilities. Ano yung action ng mayaman? They buy assets. Very simple. Okay? Stop buying liabilities. Start buying assets. Itong gagawin natin ngayon, this will be asset because ito yung magsasampa ng pera. So napakahalaga na kailangan natin magawa yun dahil pag hindi natin nagawa yun, walang mangyayari. Okay? So kailangan nyo mag-sit down with your respective family para ma-assess nyo lahat yung kailangan nyo gawin. Okay? Para lahat kayo tulong-tulong. Lahat kayo same mind, same purpose. Para magkatulong-tulong. So ngayon, pag merong isang gustong gumastos, yung isa ngayon na magsasabi, "Ops, wala sa usapan natin yan." Parang ganon. So, kayo mismo yung nagiging checks and balances ninyo. Okay, mahalaga yun. Okay. For your second assignment, okay, submit your respective proof of savings within a week. So now, magsisimula na kayo magtabi ng 10 pesos a day. Okay? It doesn't really matter kung paano, merong GCash or tawag ito, garapon. I mean, garapon would do. And then, gagawin nyo lang is, papakita nyo lang yung para bang susulat nyo, week 1, 70 pesos. Okay? And then, kunan niya ng litrato, and then padala nyo ngayon dun sa leader. That's it! That's it. Yung pera nasa inyo. Okay? Yung pera nasa inyo. Okay? Yun ang second assignment nyo. Assignment number 1 is make a decision of which way you want to go. Second one is, kailangan nyo i-submit yun, every week na nagre-report kayo na eto na yung laman ng garapon nyo. Eto na yung laman ng garapon ninyo. Okay? Okay, ano ba to? we're referring to when we say scarce means of resources to be used for productions of the desired goods and services. Let us dissect this one by one in the business ecosystem. Okay, so sabi dito, ano daw yung pinag-uusapan nating maliitang resources na pinagsama-sama natin para makapaggawa tayo ng desired goods and services. So bibigyan ko kayo I will describe the ecosystem ng business. There are 4 major components of entrepreneurship. 4 major components. Number 1 is land. Okay? Babasahin ko na lang para hindi na masyadong magulo. Okay? Land. This is normally referred to as the place where we will conduct our business. So kayo, kung saan nyo i-conduct yung business nyo, sabihin natin doon sa bahay ninyo o doon sa bakuran ninyo, yun ngayon yung tinatawag nating land. The component of the entrepreneurship business. Prior to the pandemic, this is a scarce resource because choosing the right venue for business has cost. Yeah. Dahil pagka magbi-business ka, mag-rent ka ng commercial space, malaking gastos yun. Okay? And appropriateness of the location has a very critical bearing on the initial capital outlay. Ngayon, kung yung business nyo nasa Main Street, mas mahal ang renta doon kaysa doon yung business nyo nasa loob ng nasa loob ng subdivision, medyo mas maliit ang kita ang renta. So ang mangyayari ngayon is the more you are in the main road, main highway, mas malalaki ang rental doon. Okay? Rental of offices, especially prime area, depletes the initial cash flow, coupled with securing expensive permits to operate in the area or location we want to be located. So ito yung mga dating problema nila na technically hindi masyadong magiging problema sa atin because we're starting small. We're starting nano entrepreneurship. Lahat ng gagawin natin, it can be done sa bahay. Okay? I personally believe this is one of the blessings COVID-19 brought to those who want to go into business. Because of the new normal on health protocols, the virtual venue of business has substantially slashed down rental expense. Yeah, kasi meron na tayong internet. Okay? Hindi na natin kailangan magrenta. Okay? The pandemic has massively created a free business venue in the social media for a lot of solopreneurs who can now have a worldwide exposure and are not restricted anymore to operate beyond their municipal or city boundaries. So hindi ka na ngayon limitado within sa municipality or city boundaries natin. Now, meron kang worldwide reach. Okay? Household businesses have proliferate as well. Hence, the venue where one conducts business nowadays have totally declassified land as a scarce means of resources. Katulad ko, yung school ko, dati ang problema is yung pagpunta sa school dahil sa Antipolo ako nakatira. So, kind of limited sa mga taong lalo na naninirahan dyan sa sabihin nating Las Piñas. Masyado nang malayo. Pero dahil ngayon nasa internet na ako, naka-online na ako, hanggang United States, meron akong mga attendees and I am teaching and ang laki ngayon ng scope ko. Ang bahay ko siguro I can hold 20 people right now. Ang attendees ko sa isang training course ko is like 75. So I cannot accommodate that here. But now it's possible dahil I am now online. So ito yung actually magandang dinala nung pandemya, okay? Hindi naman sa masyadong morbid yung describe ko doon. But nevertheless, sabi ko nga kailangan nating ma-realize na technically we have to think dahil yung pandemyang gumising sa atin pinakita sa atin yung hindi natin nakikita dati. Okay? So, let me continue. The irony of it all is that it is the mega enterprises that are hit hard. Okay, yung mga mega enterprises ang talagang matindi ang dagok sa kanila. Why? Well, lockdown. Walang taong lumalabas, walang taong gumagastos. Lalong-lalo na yung nangyari, grocery stores, malls, restaurants, ang daming tinamaan, ang daming nagsara. Right? But it also provided a new type of opportunities doon sa mga creative. Okay, so now we're gonna get into the creative thing. Okay, okay. Yeah, literally, most businesses have plunged into the social media for alternative method of operation. So technically, even SM, even prior to the pandemic, they now meron na silang binubuong online shopping nila. How far they are, how deep they are into launching it, and dahil na hit hard nga ang SM. So I don't know what's going on. Bakit hindi pa lumalabas? Because I know a year ago, sinisimulan na nila yon. Okay? Yeah, okay. So pati yung mga giants ngayon are going into online, okay? So for the third assignment, prepare a schedule of regular interactive activities or programs of work for a group of 4 to map out manner on how business transactions will be conducted prospectively. Okay, must be submitted within 2 weeks, but no later than the schedule of Module 3. Inasmuch as there wouldn't be a physical office to conduct the business, the schedule of activities must take into consideration the proximity of each member's residence and the convening points at which operational consolidations can be made. So, kailangan yung pag-aralan yung, kasi yung iba, sama-sama sa bahay, walang problema yon. Yung iba, magkakahiwalay, so kailangan yung pag-aralan, okay, paano gagawin natin? What is the best way we can handle this? Ano yung pinaka best for each members na kung saan natin gagawin yung business natin at ano yung mga activities na gagawin natin, na patatakbuhin natin. Okay? On the activities, by talking to the cell heads, magkakaroon kayo ngayon ng idea on those kinds of things. So my suggestion is talk to the cell heads right away para magkaroon kayo ng idea on paano yung gagawin itong third assignment dahil ito na yung sinasabi nating we're now getting engaged. Kung tandaan niyo sinabi kanina ni Kevin, sabi niya, I've never filmed a video before. Okay? So, first time, finilm niya yung video ng isang taong nagpipitch. So, that's the point. Ang point nga is, ang entrepreneur, they're always doing something to do. Even if they don't know how to do it. They just do it. If they make a mistake, they learn from their mistake. Ulit-ulit. Papanoorin nila, oops, may mali, ulit-ulit. Oops, hanggang sa gumanda yon. So, it's like, ano yung desire mo na makapagpalabas ng magandang produkto? Having said that, you also need to understand na yung katagang okay na yan, yung katagang pwede na yan, hindi na rin pwede yun. Erasin nyo na yun sa utak ninyo. Okay? Hindi na pwede yung pwede na yan, hindi na pwede yung okay na yan. Kailangan maganda ang quality. Dahil yung quality ang magbibigay na magpapabalik ng pera. Pag walang quality, walang maliit yung perang, limitado yung babalik na pera. Okay? Napakaganyan. So, para magawa nyo yung third assignment, paano nyo gagawin yung lahat ng gagawin niyo, kausapin niyo na ang cell heads, okay? Labor. Ito, susunod na component ng entrepreneurship is labor. The business connotation refers to the workforce or personnel. Okay. Ito yung personnel, yung pag sinasabi nating labor. Okay. This includes not only the rank and file of the personnel doing routine jobs, but also decision makers and officers who are receiving remuneration or salaries from the business entities. Who are receiving salaries from the business entities they are working for. In a corporate world, hiring the right people for the right price is a tedious job. Scarcity of labor further apply to matching the supply and demand of labor based on certain standards of experience and education. Sabi ko nga, ngayon matuturuan ko kayo kung paano mag-hire ng tama. Okay? This is so so weird that no one has ever noticed that. Okay? In Sariling Hamon business model, that expanded from a solopreneur to a nanopreneur, the individual tasking, responsibilities, dedication, and commitment will contribute to the probability of success, them being the same labor force who does not have a 15-day mentality. Oh, ayan. Yung 15-day mentality, kinsenas katapusan, erase na rin yun. Okay? You are reinventing your own self. Okay? You are reinventing your own self. You are taking on a new coat na tinatawag nating the coat of entrepreneur and the mind o yung the hat of an entrepreneur. Yun na ngayon yung bago nyong suot. Okay? A cell unit whose initial capitalization is marginal. The main focus is to allocate scarce means of resources in the process of generating productivity. Since hiring people to do a job is close to impossible, the 4-man team of a cell must acquire the necessary skills to do the job that will be required to carry out the business activity. So this is the same thing na itinuturo ko dun sa course ko na kailangang matutunan mo munang gawin lahat. Okay? Kasi ito yung turo ko dun sa kasi medyo iba yung scale ng business na tinuturo ko. Bago ka mag-hire, bago ka maglagay ng tao sa each department mo, kailangan master mo lahat yung department na yon. So that, pag naglagay ka ng tao doon, kung nagloloko yon, alam mong nagloloko sila. Dahil alam mo paano gumalaw yung department. Ang problema ng mga businessman, saksak sa mga tao doon sa department na hindi nila alam kung paano tumakbo ang department. So hindi nila alam ngayon is every department ang daming butas. Ang ibig sabihin ng maraming butas, kumbaga, yung timba mo, okay, maraming butas. So yung resources mo nawawala, tumatagas. And that represents a huge percentage of money lost in business. Kaya pag hindi nyo naiintindihan to, para ka nasa treadmill, nasa treadmill. Lakad ka ng lakad, napapagod ka, pero hindi ka umaalis sa lugar mo. Parang ganon. Okay? You don't wanna do that. Dahil napapagod ka, pero hindi ka nag-grow, hindi ka nag-move forward, you're not gaining ground. Okay? So, kailangan maintindihan natin lahat. Okay? Napakahalaga nun. Okay? Kaya yun yung skills na kailangan nating ma-develop. For the 4th assignment, identify what each and every member of the cell is capable of doing in relation to their desired business. So, kunyari, nag-decide kayo you want to go to agriculture, kunyari, okay? So, ano yung kakayanan na dati ng kakayanan nung mga taong nandoon yung 4 na member? Ano ba? Kumbaga, akma ba? Dahil pinili nyo kunyari agriculture, no? And then yung isa nagpipintura, nagdo-drawing. Yung isa sabihin nating karpintero. Tapos yung isa tubero. So, para bang ang gulo, di ba? So, ngayon, kaya nga yung sinasabi ko, kailangan maintindihan natin. Ngayon, kahit na ganun yung description nung trabaho nila, merong tinatawag tayong yung inner, yung frustration natin, yung inner dreams natin, yung nakatagong dreams natin na meron tayong pangarap na maging farmer. kahit na pakarpentero, tubero yan, kung meron siyang pangarap na maging farmer, it's still good na agriculture pa rin ang pinili nyo. Dahil kasi now, you're doing what you really want to do. Napilitan ka lang maging karpentero, napilitan ka lang maging tubero, napilitan ka lang maging pintor. Okay? Pero yun talagang gusto mong gawin farming, that's now good. Okay? So kailangan nyo talagang mag-usap. Napakahalaga nun, okay? That's your fourth assignment. Identify what each and every member of the cell is capable of doing in relation to their desired business. Prepare tasking, define authority and responsibilities in relation to third assignment. So yung tasking, kailangan ma-define nyo yun. Ano yung mga, yung kailangan ma-define yung authority, at saka yung responsibilities ng lahat in relation to the third assignment. Ano na nga yung third assignment? Naalala nyo? Okay? Okay, so for deficiency in technical know-how that will require further training, identify what kind of specialized training is needed. So, kunyari, lahat kayo pangarap nyong magkaroon ng farm. Pero nga, sa iba kayo napunta. So ngayon, ano yung mga kailangan nyo ngayong training na kailangan yung mag-get involved with para matutunan ninyo. So i-identify nyo ngayon yun. Okay? Maglilista kami ng mga training na ipoprovide, but nevertheless, i-identify nyo na rin yung training na maaaring kailanganin ninyo so that maidagdag din natin. Okay? Ang last part is capital. Capital is, last na ba to? Pangatlo pa lang yata. Capital is a term used for assets, cash or its equivalent, that are used in production of goods and services. It may also refer to borrowed funds for special purposes. Hence, it comes in two main forms. Okay, equity, which compensated with dividends, and debt advances, which is compensated with interest. Okay. So, yung capital, nangyari, so nagkaroon na kayo ng capital build-up ninyo, and then dahil nakapag-build up na yun ng capital, although it wasn't enough para dun sa para mag-level up kayo, makakakuha tayo ngayon ng mga government programs that could help the funding na kulang natin, and it may come in a borrowed funds or debt nga. Okay? So yung pag-borrowed funds, yung kita ng business, technically, basically, yun yung ipambabayad natin, so that pag nabayaran natin yun, then all of a sudden, sa inyo na talaga yung business at lumaki na ngayon. Okay? For the fifth assignment, define in general the size of capital required to put up the business operation. Okay? Include existing capital assets if already operational. Okay. So ito, lalong-lalo na yung operational na. Kung meron ng operational, i-define nyo ngayon yung general size of capital required para maging full-blown. O hindi naman full-blown, para maging, para magkabuhay na talaga yung business operation. Okay? So kung meron na kayong existing capital assets, lalo na kung operational na, ipagsama-samahin yon, and then titingnan nyo ngayon, what do you need to get to the next level? What do you need to get to the next level? Yun yung kailangan yung ma-define. Okay? So entrepreneurs, the person or group of persons who allocate scarce means of resources and the creation of goods and services. So yun ang definition ng entrepreneur. And lahat kayo ngayon are going to be entrepreneurs. You're going to be a full-fledged entrepreneurs. You're going to learn how to do things properly. Maiintindihan nyo, papakita ko sa inyo lahat ng butas para yung butas na yun hindi na magi-exist, so that yung growth will be secured, yung growth will be faster, and the more we can help people, meaning helping people, teaching people, getting them involved dito sa project natin, mas mabilis tayong lalaki. And with that, I am now ending my presentation. So you have 5 assignments. Make sure that you got all of them. And then I would like to thank you for listening to me, and you're still there. And that was cool. And I will see you again on the next training.